Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show. Judge, you tuned in to the hottest sports radio.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
Orlando, a.k.a. the Big O. He covers all the South Florida teams.
For over 16 years, EJD Construction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJD Construction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
Dolphins to the Heat, well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, lollipop blow in the...
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Show on the radio, the top's where we gonna go, Andy, that's the way we roll.
Folks, you can support the hardest working sports talk show in South Florida through Cash App or Venmo. Just search Cash Big O Show. Support us through Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. We thank you for your incredible support.
On the morning show, we go. No one has a similar show. Talk sports, talk plays, talk.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at Caneswear.com or InnerMiamiWear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Live and direct, because nobody do it better than Big O in the set. From sunrise, listen live.
When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee, and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today. 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com. The views and statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
The Big O Radio Show is brought to you by Hialeah Park Casino.com. Enjoy simulcast racing, dining, a magnificent poker room, and a casino with the most popular machines on the market. Okcoin.com. Download the app on iOS, Google Play, or Windows. Okcoin.com with over 50 different coins and incredible staking rewards. Pallet Rack City. There's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
The Big O Radio Show originates from the Okcoin Studios. Invest a little time and save big. Just set the recurring buy and pay, 0 transaction fee after your first purchase. The Big O Radio Show is mastered by executive producer Sean Stanley from the Okcoin Studios. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Good morning, boys and girls. We are ready to rock and roll. It's a Thursday. You know where we're at. We're out here at Hialeah Park, second floor poker room. And yes, we're a little early because obviously at 10 o'clock, the man, Mike McDaniel, will be addressing the fans and the media today. So you will get your first real crack at Mike McDaniel, and you'll get to hear his thoughts. And obviously, the media will pepper him with all kinds of questions. So hopefully we'll get to find out a little bit more philosophically what's going to happen with his staff. We've already got John Embry joining the staff as the tight ends coach and assistant head coach. He's going to join him. He held the same title in San Francisco, so it's kind of a lateral move, which I thought it was interesting because in one of his interviews, and by the way, Travis Wingfield, dude, you kicked ass. That was one hell of an interview, Travis. Nice job by you, sir. Really good questions there. I love how he asked him about the evolution of a play. But one of the things that he told Travis in that interview that he was talking about, that it's a relationship business, and it is true. You know what I mean? I work in a relationship business, so it's one of those deals where I definitely can understand that. And any of you that work in a relationship networking type of business, you would understand. And when I saw that move and I saw that it was lateral, that tells me that there's a good relationship between Embry and McDaniel. And so you wonder how many of those relationships did he build along the way. We also heard he's going to keep Danny Crossman on special teams. So notice that there's a lot of continuity being kept where you had continuity, right? Special teams wasn't exceptional this year. They probably took a little bit of a step back. I think we would all say that. But overall, Crossman's done a pretty good job in his first few years here. And then you have the defensive staff coming back. And if you have a Fangio coming in to kind of overlook all of that, you know, all he's going to do is tweak it to make it better. So there's you really, you know, in this part where you kind of reset at the coaching spot, you're really not setting the team back on defense and on special teams. And on offense, they were never moving forward anyway. So now you only have a chance to get better. I mean, it can't get any worse. The offense just wasn't good enough. So you've got to get better. And hopefully that'll be the case. And when I saw the interview and then I see, Embry coming here, you kind of put one and one together. And it was a good interview by Travis. And that was a lot of fun. That one I enjoyed a lot. You know, the other stuff has kind of been more fluff that we've seen, but that one actually had a little bit of meat on the bone. And that was good. I like that interview by Travis. If you haven't seen Travis Wingfield's interview with the coach, what is it? The Drive Time Podcast, I believe it's called. And Travis does an excellent job with that. Check out that interview. He did a really, really good job with it. So we will have the coach here in 10 minutes. Okay. So we are locked and loaded. We'll carry the press conference for you. And then, of course, we'll break down his comments and all that good stuff. Alan Poupard will join us shortly after the press conference to talk a little bit about his thoughts on the press conference. Marcel Louis-Jacques with our Edge Energy Drink Miami Dolphins report at 12:30. So we'll get Marcel's side of it also. As you know, no show is going to give you better Dolphin insight, Heat insight, Canes insight than this program here in South Florida. So we will do the same thing here. We'll continue to break this down. Got all kinds of stuff. The NBA trading deadline is today at 3 o'clock. The Heat made the move with KZ Okpala. So they've got 2 roster spots open. One's going to go to Caleb. because they're going to turn that two-way contract into a full-time contract so he can be eligible for the playoffs. I mean, Caleb Martin, And so then you'll have the other roster spot now available. So the question is, what trade is out there? Okay, and you've all seen the same names I have: Goran Dragic and Ibaka and Thaddeus Young, and all those, either a stretch four, a backup point guard, basically is what we're talking about, or something. You never know with Pat Riley, dude. So apparently, and let me make sure I read it right, because of the way they amended the trade yesterday. They now will get to trade their first round pick in either 2023 or 2025. No, 2022, 2023, or 2028. What they did was the first round pick that they owed OKC, they owed it in 2023. They pushed it back to 2025, which then allowed them that flexibility now to be able to move first round picks. And, at first we used to complain about moving first round picks, but now we don't, because if you can get Caleb Martin and Omar Yurtseven, and you can find Gabe Vincent shooting lights out, and you could go get Max Strus, and, there's a Kyle guy. And so, you could do all those things. Who the hell needs draft picks, So trade away, baby. Trade away.
But that used to be Riley's old MO, right? Bring in veterans, and we always knew he could develop players. But the last couple drafts, Bam.
Yeah.
Tyler Hero.
Hits.
I almost want him to start drafting.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, but those are early picks.
Well, 13s.
Well, but I mean, the first round picks they're trading are going to be late first rounders right now.
True. I guess 20.
They should. They should be. You know what I'm saying? But it's just it's funny when you have all that confidence that you can find other players, and so you'll trade it. And listen, you can win the title this year. So make the move if you can make the move. You picked with Caleb Martin. It's like a first round draft pick you added to your team, basically. Okay, Max Strus is like a late first rounder for you. Omar Yurtseven is playing like a late first rounder for you. All these guys are turning into players for you. So you got something out of nothing, because you got an exceptional scouting department. So we hate to see KZ Okpala go, and we really don't. It was a joke. Relax. So let's see what happens now with that one spot that they have open. Do they make a move by 3:00? Is there a disgruntled player? Is there a younger disgruntled player that they can get? Because we keep talking about old guys, Gary Harris and things like that. I like Gary Harris as a backup point guard. The only thing I don't like about Gary Harris is, dude, that guy's always injured. That's the one thing I don't like about Gary Harris. And then the Goran Dragic one is, he's got to get traded and then bought out, and then Miami will have an opportunity. And that would take up a space, not a pick. So that's actually a good thing on that end, because you're not giving up anything. And we know Goran also has his own injury history. So it is what it is. But we are going to await the press conference from Mike McDaniel here at the top of the hour. You'll get to hear from the Dolphins' new head coach. I'm psyched up about it. I got to tell you, I know I'm going down that wormhole. I'm going down the abyss again. But what am I going to tell you? I'm going to sit here and just crap on everything for the entire offseason and be bitter about it? No, dude. I'm gonna get excited about it. I'm gonna hope that McDaniel can figure this stuff out, get this team running. Get the offensive line improved. The one thing that you feel, at least from the get-go, is there's more synergy now. So it looks like the coach and the front office are in lockstep. And here's the most important part, ladies and gentlemen, where I think they've made some progress and they've learned from their ways. I don't think Mike McDaniel has the power that they gave Flo or Gase when it comes to personnel. And to me, that's going to be incredibly important. Mike is going to be happy coaching the players. I'm sure he'll make suggestions. But Chris Grier, Marvin Allen, Reggie McKenzie, these guys should be leading the way in making the picks. That way they kind of have, a clean avenue, and there isn't this whole mess that we've had in years past of trying to decipher who picked what, because everybody's got power, and it can't be like that. So I'm hoping there's more a separation of church and state here moving forward. And personnel will be all on personnel, and coaching will be all on coaching. And let's move forward and let's see what they can do. But I'm excited about it. I really am, because I'm excited for Tua. I think he finally has a coach that believes in him and that is actually going to design an offense that suits him and helps him succeed, like you should for any quarterback, right? You know, we failed Marino for years. He never had a guy that he can hand off to that was his equal. And that's the thing. When Kurt Warner drops back and he hands it off to Marshall Faulk, that's his equal or better. And when Joe Montana is handing it off to Roger Craig, that's his equal or better. You understand? And that's incredibly important when you're trying to win a championship, that you're handing it off to somebody that you respect just as much, and so does the defense. And I think they're going to get to that now, where you're going to have the kind of running game that hopefully will be impactful, respected, and you'll have to game plan for. And if you have to game plan for the running game, that opens things up for the passing game and for Tua and the offense. So, I know it's kind of a thing that I shouldn't do, but I am kind of it, because I like the defense. It needs to improve, especially at middle linebacker. They got to get themselves a thumper. There's no doubt about it. I know they're going to move X, so they're going to have to get another veteran corner in here just in case Iggy can't develop, right? And so I like a lot of the things that are going on the team. Just fix the offense, and I think things will be a lot better overall. So we await the press conference for Mike McDaniel. It is set for 10 a.m. They may be on Cuban time like most of us. So, who knows? But Sean has got it locked and loaded and ready to go. Yes, Sean?
No, I'm keeping an eye on it, and I did see Alan Poupard on Twitter did tweet from the introductory press conference also. But did you realize that the University of Miami is also introducing their OC and DC at the same time?
Oh, I did not know that.
Just saw that on Twitter that
Okay.
5 minutes they'll be introducing the OC and DC. I was like, yeah, sounds about right.
All right, well, but you know what? Maybe those will be on video later, and we can play them for folks, and they can check out the OC.
Yeah, I just thought it was funny how the Miami way is, like, everything's at the same time.
All right, later on in the show, if those videos are up, we'll also replay those videos for you with the OC and the DC, so you can get a taste of what they've got to say. And I love what Mario's doing, man. God, it is. You got a shot now. It's kind of like what I'm saying with the Dolphins now, that I like the defense. Special teams is all right. You got to tweak both a little bit, but they're not in a bad spot. Just got to fix the offense, and you got the guy, hopefully, that can fix the offense.
Hey, guys, I'm going to share with you 3 things you need to start.
Okay. All right. Share it with us. And so, I'm pumped up also about what Mario's doing, what he did in a short time recruiting, what he's done with his coaching staff, his organization, his desire, his fire. How can you not be pumped up about the season? I may not be thinking about a title this year, but at least I'm thinking about watching a good team on the field that is organized, that is prepared, all of those things. As you see, we've got the press conference ready to go right there for you. And once it's locked and loaded, we will fire away for you all, and you get to see the press conference. And then, of course, we will comment on that press conference, and we will have 2 of our insiders also joining us on the after the press conference to give us their thoughts on everything going on over there in Miami Gardens. I gotta watch myself that I get caught saying in Davie, in Miami Gardens. I gotta keep saying. What's up? Oh, good morning. Yes, it is. It is a good morning, man. We're out here at Hialeah Park, 2nd floor poker room. Come on out, man. Come on out. People are enjoying some poker. They can bring you drinks right to your table, a little food, all kinds of stuff, man. So come on out here to the poker room, man, in Hialeah Park. We'll be out here for a few hours having some fun. The feeling with McDaniel is he's more than strong on X's and O's, but also gets the importance of human capital and the maintenance thereof. Yeah. Oh, you can tell that he's a guy that is big on connecting, and that is, listen, the one, you know what I came away also from the Travis Wingfield interview? There's like a human being in that spot. You had like this weird and odd dude in Adam Gase, and then now you had like this ogre in Brian Flores, and you get this guy, and it just looks like at least you're going to get a human being there, and he's not going to treat the whole situation like we're all a bunch of idiots and we shouldn't know anything and everything is secretive and all of that. I just that's what I get from that impression, and that it's good to have somebody like that at that spot. Well, I don't. If you're gonna act like Belichick, well then win, bro. You know what I mean? Get in the playoffs, make some big impact. But if you're gonna be a horse's ass and you're not gonna produce anything, you got to get into the playoffs. You got to start winning. You got to find a way to get it done. Mario has built an all-pro assistant coaching staff. Absolutely, yeah. That's you have to do that, pro or college. Got to have a great staff. Nobody can do it alone. Shula didn't do it alone. Tom Landry didn't do it alone. If RG has the power to remove Ross, this would be the best news in a long time for me as a Dolphins fan. The clown show finally will end. Let's go, Flores and NFL. Make things right and remove Ross. All right, here you go. Here's your buddy Ross, Stephen Ross. Let's go.
Introduce Mike McDaniel and his family and welcome them to the Miami Dolphins. We are excited that Mike is here, and we look forward to him working with us and Chris in creating a team that will win Super Bowls. First, we got to start winning our conference games, our division games, and hopefully get to the Super Bowl. That's what we've always said, that what we want is really a team that can win consistently. When we started our search, we were looking to identify someone with several qualities that would have a real impact on our team. We were looking for those qualities of leadership, intelligence, innovation, and that could really understand what it takes to winning in the long run. Mike has all those qualities. First of all, he is probably one of the brightest coaches that I've spoken to. He is really known for his innovation on the field, and many people in talking to him actually even call him a genius. That's a big word and a lot of pressure on it, but certainly when you talk to people, the first thing they'll say about Mike, he is innovative and he's thinking outside the box. But at the same time, the respect that he has commanded through his over 18 years as a coach is really, remarkable. I mean, he went so far as I had coaches in his former division calling me and telling me how great he was. And I said, why are you calling? He said, really? To get him out of the division. So, I mean, it says an awful lot about the person and who he is. But one thing that really you'll find out that stands out about him is his passion for football, his passion, how he approaches the game, and how he works with people. Because that's what it's all about. It's really motivating, working with people with passion and intelligence on a consistent basis that really will produce a winner. And I don't think we could find anybody, and you'll learn to see, with any more passion for this game and winning the right way. So I really like to say that, that as we work together, and I've always preached, it's really about a team in every aspect. It's the players there, but it's really us as the owner, the general manager, the CEO, working together to produce a team, and a team that is always doing the right thing. So, and I think, and just spending the time with him, I really feel that he is the person that really has all those attributes at the same time, has that football knowledge and the leadership for men that the Miami Dolphins really will serve us really well in the long run. He will continue to report reporting to Chris Grier. Chris Grier reports to me and works together with Tom and me, actually, Tom Garfinkel, in really leading the Miami Dolphins. So, with that, I look forward to, continuing this collaboration and hoping that we are, winning our division and then going on to much greater glory. Let's put it that way. I guess that's probably the best word. So I would like to now introduce Chris Grier and thank him for all the work that he's done in this search. So, Chris.
Good morning. First of all, Steve took basically all my jokes and thunder for everything on this and to compliment Mike. So this might be shorter than expected. Really, we're tremendously excited to welcome Mike and his family here to South Florida as the leader of the Miami Dolphins. And, as Steve mentioned, Steve Ross, Tom Garfinkel, Brandon Shore, myself, we talked to many, many very qualified candidates for this job in both pro and college football. That resonated with us was how excited everyone was for this job. And where our roster was, the talent level, it was clear that there was excitement. And even into the last 2 weeks, you guys would be surprised the people that were calling trying to get into this job. So, for us, as we worked through the process, we interviewed, as we said, many people, did our research extensively. Steve was very calculated and made sure that we didn't rush this process. And that's a credit to Steve, because there were times when I was like, let's go, let's push this forward. And Steve was like, hey, let's make sure we do this as thoroughly and correct as we can. So, I thank Steve for his patience, because, I was ready to get going and get us going moving forward. It's been a good month in trying to find the right man to lead the Miami Dolphins. And when we got through the process, it was Mike McDaniel. And the one thing as we kept talking to everybody was, as Steve talked about, the football intelligence, the innovativeness that he does. You wouldn't believe the calls and texts, like Steve said, just from players that he had connected with over the years, former players at his former team, and agents calling us just about the relationships that he's built over the years and how respectful he was in terms of guiding those players through, dealt with adversity and things like that. So it's always good to hear, those stories, because when you go through this process, everyone wants to tell you how great everyone is, and everyone wants to tell you, their warts that they're trying to sell people. But it was very genuine, and everyone's, love and affection for Mike and how he had impacted people's lives at his previous teams. So for us, when we got down to the decision, it was a clear choice. And, you guys have all heard everything that's been about Mike, his intelligence, his passion, his work ethic. The people that have met him in this building here over the last, 48 hours have all talked about the energy level and how he is. And he spent time, new coaches come in, it's not easy. And they come and they'll spend 5 minutes with people. He's literally in there still talking for like an hour with people as I'm trying to get his attention on other things. And that's who he is. He wants to genuinely know who people are, connect with them, and get to the whys. And that's what makes him a unique person in terms of getting the best out of people. So again, we're tremendously excited to welcome you and your family here. Richmond did a great job of pushing me too, as we're talking about getting you through stuff and being patient, because you guys had a great run in San Francisco. So, but again, we're tremendously excited and glad you're the man to lead us here over the next years.
I guess they're taking the proverbial picture with the owner, the GM, and the coach, and the jersey, or okay, the helmet in this case. Oh, and there we go, Tom Garfinkel. I can't forget Tom Garfinkel. We, of course, are carrying the Mike McDaniel press conference here on the Big O Radio Show. You just heard from Stephen Ross, who we wish could only say 4 words, introduce the guy, and move on. Chris Grier, obviously, both talking about McDaniel. We will now hear from Mike McDaniel, and he will, I'm sure, make his opening statement and then take some questions. By the way, Ross and Grier are not taking any questions, which is what we told you the last couple of days, that they weren't going to take any questions with a lawsuit pending. Let's go to Mike McDaniel, the head coach, the new head coach of your Miami Dolphins. Fins up, baby.
Again? All right, it's an honor and a privilege to stand in front of you guys here as the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. You know, any man standing at a podium like this would be honored. It's a tremendous accomplishment. You'd feel great about that. But that's not why you get into coaching. It's standing at this podium. You get into coaching because you love to coach football. You love to teach, and you love to make people better. And that's exactly who I am, who I have been, and who I'll be as the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. I'd like to thank those wonderful words from both Steve Ross and Chris Grier. I really appreciate the opportunity and the responsibility, really. And it is a big one. But I'd like to talk about me coming here to Miami about a week ago. You know, I was coming here to interview for a dream position, a dream of mine. And that's what I thought it was. But as I walked through this building, the gorgeous building we stand in, saw the people, looked into their eyes, felt their passion, I quickly realized that this was my dream job and I had to go get it. That one of the things that really struck me with the Miami Dolphins organization was their interest in general. You know, it's a lot easier to go after a guy after 5 other teams have interviewed him, put him on a list. You know, traditionally, that's the way it works, where people want whoever other people are interviewing. This was not the case. They looked at me for me, and that really galvanized my interest in this organization and really told me a lot about who was really targeting me. Told me a lot about what they were looking for, and that's why I knew it would be a good fit. You know, interviewing with Steve Ross, Chris Grier, Brandon Short, Tom Garfinkel, it didn't take me long to realize this was the place that I was meant to be, so I better not screw this interview up. You take a look at the facility that's built here, which is, I feel like I'm in an SEC school. It's incredible. The stadium, everything going on around it. I think it kind of epitomizes Steve's vision. And that vision is broad, it's grand, and it's trying to be great. And that's what I'm here to get the football to. And that's what we'll do. And really, that's why I feel honor and I feel privileged just being up here in front of you guys today. I'd be remiss if I didn't thank the immense amount of people that had to do with me even having this opportunity. You know, starting with Kyle Shanahan, Jed York, and his family, John Lynch, and the 49ers organization. They're a first-class organization and really helped facilitate me coming into my own, I feel like. And without the players who is the people that you really get into this business for, all their support, all their hard work, and their commitment, none of this would have been possible. And I thank all the 49er players as well. To get in a spot like this, it's almost overwhelming to think about how many people are along the ride with you, that if one of them doesn't decide to invest in you, you may never get this opportunity. You know, it's one of the great things about coaching and the coaching profession is it takes a village to just get one individual capable of doing a job like this. You know, I can go down the list, starting with Mike Shanahan, gave me my first job. It was unpaid though, so he didn't pay very well. Gary Kubiak, who gave me my first paid job with the Houston Texans. Kyle Shanahan, obviously. I would have, I'm not sure what I'd be doing if it wasn't for him. You talk about guys like Sean McVay, Chris, Matt LaFleur, Bobby Turner, Dan Quinn, Raheem Morris, Mike LaFleur, the list goes on and on. I don't want to drain your guys' eardrums with that, but there's just so many people, and I appreciate all of those men that helped me become the man I am today. Each individual that I mentioned and each coach have been really privileged to work alongside. They made me a better man, a better coach, a better teacher, and that's really what my focus is in life. They didn't make me a better father. I did that on my own. I'd like to thank Richmond Flowers. It is surreal, man. Came a long way, and you know how much I appreciate you. Ann Newland, this emotional day for me, and you made it somewhat coherent, I hope. Obviously, my family. My wife, Katie McDaniel. We've come a long way. We got a long way to go. Don't do that to me. I'm trying to do a press conference. And my daughter, Ayla June McDaniel. You're a miracle, and I can't wait to see what you grow into. Now back to what we're all here for. So football. Okay, and the Miami Dolphins and what you can expect from us, okay? Schematically, offense, defense, special teams, you're gonna see a unique design of everything that's tailored to our players. That's why it will be unique to us, because we'll tailor everything to our players, and that's first and foremost. But really, the picture I'd like to present and what I'm here to do with the assistance of all these wonderful people is create a brand of football here that is known as Miami football. And what that is, in Miami Dolphin football, is all about passion, energy. You should be able to turn on the TV and know who the team is, even if the color's distorted, by the energy that they play with, by how they bond together, things that you only get with true work and bond together, okay? It's a team sport, and we're gonna play as a team, and I promise you that we'll feel that. The whole thing that makes football so magical, the whole reason I've devoted my professional life to it, is you have all these people with different interests focused on one common goal, okay? That one common goal of winning, winning often, winning playoff games, and winning Super Bowls. Okay? And that goal is what drives us, but it's the bond and everything we go through in that process that makes it memorable and makes it worth doing what we do. It's the essence of sports, really, and it epitomizes what the Miami Dolphins will become. It is, I feel unbelievably fortunate, and it is so exciting to come into a team of of energy, of youth, of talent, but more so of hunger that really matches the city of Miami, the fans, and every person that is employed by the Miami Dolphins. I felt it immediately when I walked in the door. It gives me goosebumps right now to be a part of something like that. An organization, this is my 7th, and I feel like when you're hired and fired that many times and bouncing around the NFL, you get a glimpse at a lot of things, and you know when something has the ability to be great. And that's all I feel walking in and out of these hallways, and I can't wait to serve each and every one of you. I think collectively, one of the most powerful things within these hallways, within this organization, that I think should be focused on is the lack of ego and the drive with a common goal. You know, as in interviewing in this process, it's all about one thing, and that is a rarity, something special, and I am so fortunate to be a part of. But that collectivity and working together for with a shared sacrifice is something that can't be replicated, and I'm extremely fortunate to be a part of. Now, I think this is always odd because you're getting all hyped up for a media session, and then we just go back and study film, put coaching staffs together, and then get ready to practice. Hopefully, we teach the players what the plays are before we do that. That whole process, although it's anticlimactic, it is part of it, and I can't express the gratitude to everyone to allow me to be up here and to be a part of it. And there's no better time to start this whole process than right now. Thank you, guys. Or questions?
Hey guys, we're gonna take questions. We have 2 mics. Brett and Renzo each have a mic. Raise your hand, we'll bring it to you, and please say your name and your affiliation when you get the mic. Thank you.
Thank you. Mike, Jim Barry, CBS 4 here in Miami. Welcome to South Florida.
Well, thank you, Jim. Appreciate it.
My question is this. Did any of the issues raised by your predecessor in his legal action raise any red flags in your mind about this organization? If not, why not? And if so, how did you resolve them in your own mind?
Red flags, I can honestly say there was absolutely no red flags. And the reason why was because I was stepping into an organization with a boss that I don't think people give it its proper due. Stephen Ross, there's a lot of people in professional sports, you know, that are out to make money. And I mean, I can't lie, I feel like if I'd spend that much money, I'd want to make a lot of money. But like I said, when I walked in that door, you look at every single detail within this building. You look at the people that are hired. You look at just all the extents that there's no cost too high for winning for him. And when you're in multiple organizations, you realize that's not always the case. The city of Miami really is lucky to have an owner that, right, wrong, or indifferent, all he cares about is winning. And as a coach, that's all you are literally looking for. That's all. So red flags? No, there's no red flags for me.
Hey, Mike, how you doing? Cam Wolf, NFL Network. Welcome to South Florida.
What's up, Cam?
How you feeling? Obviously, when you start, the offense everything's going to start with the quarterback. What's your belief in Tua and him leading you guys into the next season?
My belief in Tua is that he's a football player on this team that's trying to get better. And the biggest message I have for all players, really, the message should be about the team. And what I mean by that is it's really about the team collectively getting better, and there's a responsibility of the quarterback to do so. But I'm not sitting here concerned with how good Tua can be. I'm concerned with, as a collective unit, what we can grow together, because that's what wins football games. I haven't seen a quarterback win a football game by himself ever, really. He has to have somebody to throw to. He better not be getting tackled before he throws, so somebody better block. And the defense better not allow them to score. But the biggest thing for me with Tua is that I want him to come in and work every day, and I'm very confident that he will. I want to provide teachers that can develop him. I'm very confident in the people we're discussing this week, and the plan we have for that. And ultimately, all you want is a guy that's driven to be great, a guy that's driven to get better, and it gives you a chance. And it's my job to make sure that he has the best chance to showcase his talents. And that's everyone's job, really.
Hey, Mike, Dave Hyde of the Sun Sentinel. Welcome to over here.
There we are.
You alluded to earlier the Dolphins were the one team to talk to you for interviews. How do you know you're ready for this job? What told you, okay, I'm ready to be a head coach in the NFL?
It's funny that every head coach, there's a lot of talk about being ready to be a new head coach, and I think you guys have had new head coaches. The thing that kind of trips me up is every single head coach in the history of football has never been a head coach until they're a head coach. And for me, the comfort level within the hallways, really it's every year of my experience, especially the last 5 years, that head coach Kyle Shanahan in the 49ers, he really relied on me, allowed me to be his right-hand man and open my eyes to all the things that a head coach does. Not to mention all the other years where I've had great teachers. And the key for me is paying attention. It's right in front of me. And so when I do get my opportunity, I've been fully aware whenever that day comes, the responsibility it brings, the responsibility you have to every individual that's employed in the organization, their families, every player. So when they called, I was kind of nervous about an interview because I don't major in that. I major in connecting with players, teaching them, and helping them grow. But after getting the job, no, I know there's going to be things that I'm not that are new to me. But it's more about being prepared for the moment, because everybody has to have their first time to do it. And I know that I'm prepared for the moment. I know there's going to be things that are new and challenging, but that doesn't make me nervous because I've been preparing for this my entire career.
Hey, Mike, right here in the center. Will Manso with WPLG TV here in Miami. Welcome to Miami. You talked a lot in the last couple of days. I've heard clips about coaching is teaching, and that's something that you love to do in the individual players. But when it comes to managing 53 personalities, the emotion from week to week, the drama, the distractions, things that come with a team, how do you think you'll handle that? And what is your plan when you've got to handle so many people as one head coach?
My plan is to handle it well. And how you do that is you take, coaching a position group. There's a transition to coach a position group to be an offensive coordinator. That told me a lot about what I thought it was. And there will be a transition to coaching 53 men, which that's at the low end. There's also practice squad and training camp roster. So I'm prepared to coach more of those guys. than just that. But yeah, there's challenges. But every step of the road, every position you hold in football, that's what your job is. Anytime you ascend, you take on new responsibilities, but you're doing the same thing in terms of, oh, there's something unforeseen. How do I problem solve this? What messaging do these guys need to hear? Who do I need to connect with? Who isn't really coming along the team's direction? They're all just problems. There's more of them for sure, but that's why there's only one head coach. You work your entire career to do it, and that's why you have so many resources within the building. Why I felt so comfortable taking this job is because I feel completely comfortable with my knowledge. I know I've been preparing for this. That would have been irresponsible for me to have all these great leaders in front of me and not bear witness, but I also have a lot of people to rely on within the building. And when everyone's working in the same direction, yeah, there's going to be problems I don't foresee, or I couldn't forecast today. But how boring would our jobs be if it was just monotony anyway? I embrace the challenge. I know there'll be new things, but I mean, that's been the task at hand my entire 17 or 18-year career.
Hey, Mike, Marcel Louis-Jacques with ESPN. Welcome to Miami.
That's my 5th welcome to Miami, and I'm feeling welcome.
About to say, just trying to make you feel comfortable.
That's what I mean. I'm just waiting for you to bust out some welcome to Miami and then finish the verse.
I'm not going to do that right now, but maybe later on.
Gotcha.
Once you get your offensive staff kind of put together, what do you foresee that collaboration process being like? Do you plan on calling plays yourself? Is that something that you're going to kind of delegate to your offensive coordinator, or do you have another unique system in mind?
Oh, no, I plan on calling plays myself. But one thing that I've noticed in my journey is that successful play callers don't isolate themselves. They utilize the people around them. That's what a head coach should do. I'm not up here doing anything by myself, or I won't be, after this press conference ends, I'm not going to be going into a hole and hanging out by myself and thinking about stuff. You're working with people. So the higher your leadership, with regard to a head coach, the more people you have to lead. As an offensive coordinator, you call plays, but if you're a head coach and calling plays, you better be reliant and feel very good about the people on your offensive staff. So it's been a meticulous process. I think not as meticulous as this head coaching search, apparently, but it's been very meticulous because that's what you're preparing for. I know exactly what the season's going to bring in terms of, there are so many things that go on in the course of the season, and there's stressors, and you have to worry about kind of focusing the direction of the team. But that's why you spend this time in the off season finding the people that you can rely on, that you can trust and work with, so they can help you game plan, help you solve problems. We can get the best plan together. And then, when the players own the plan, you're just calling plays, but they make them come to life.
Hi, Mike. Omar Kelly with Sun Sentinel. I wanted to ask you about your upbringing in the NFL. Gary Kubiak, Shanahan, both father, son. Your background, West Coast offense, heavy run-based offense. Is that sort of a sample of what you believe is winning football in the NFL? And what do you think it takes to win in the NFL from a play call standpoint and scheme standpoint?
I understand what you're getting at with the question. I really like the question, but connecting it to winning, that's a team deal. But for offensively, with regard to scheme, I have an interesting story because I started with Mike Shanahan and immediately went to Gary Kubiak, and it's rare to work 15 years in the NFL across 6 teams and have the same system. So in that, what what you end up doing in the same system, you're not constantly trying to relearn how to do things. You're constantly evolving to the point, when you're at your fourth or fifth year within the offense, and then you go to your third team, now you're reinstalling. So you found it's your third rep of first introducing the same scheme, while also there's a completely different set of players. So within your scheme, you are tailoring it to whoever they are. You go, what was it? My second year in Washington, collectively, we drafted Robert Griffin III and ran a bunch of zone read. You know how much zone read experience our staff had? 0. And we didn't go to any clinics. We didn't. We really did it with the old-fashioned hard way grind. And what that afforded all of us, when you're talking about all the guys that were there in Washington, is in our formative years, our minds are open to adapting to whatever means necessary, to whatever player skill sets, all the way to the quarterback. So because of that, every single year, people call our scheme so creative. Really, we're just adapting. We're adapting to defenses. We're adapting to our players. We're constantly evolving. And I think that's important. And that's a winning formula. I think it puts players in position to succeed. And that's the key drive for the scheme. That's why, it's less trying to be creative for creative's sake. It's more solving problems in different ways and having different tools and abilities to do so.
Hey, Mike, Daniel Yafusi with the Miami Herald. I found it interesting that in Steve's comments, he said that you will report to Chris, who then reports to obviously Steve and Tom. And I was curious with the aspect of player personnel, how much say do you anticipate having on that? And how do you foresee you working with Chris on that?
Another attractive, thanks for the tee up. That's another attractive thing about the Miami Dolphins is Chris Grier himself. I think his reputation speaks for itself, but I didn't know him that well. I knew of him, and I worked with his dad previously. But in a short amount of time, if you're picturing that scenario where you report to a GM and you want to work with him, I couldn't create an avatar better for my working relationship than Chris Grier. Why? Because he's of the same vision in that he just wants to win football games, and he understands that the players we acquire better suit the scheme. And it's been obvious in a week and talking to him on the phone and really all the due diligence that I did before I got here, that he's not interested in ego. He's not interested in agenda. He's interested in a bond with the head coach that excels and that beats other people's bonds as GM and head coach. He wants a tied together unit, and he wants to grow together. So how much say? As much as I want to talk, I guess, because there's been no pushback. And I don't ever foresee that ever happening. It's a very comfortable situation for a coach to go into. And honestly, it just helps me worry about coaching football, evaluating players with him, having conversations, and growing together so we could collectively do the best thing for the Miami Dolphins.
Hey, Mike, over here in the middle, Joe Shad from Palm Beach. Hope things go well. I will not welcome you officially.
I appreciate the welcomes. I was just, paying attention.
I wanted to ask you about what you've learned about the best ways to teach players.
That it's an evolving process. That I got into the NFL in 2005. Twitter, Instagram, and ADD addictions weren't really prevalent or existed. And that's just an example of how things change over time. I think the one thing in terms of studying the learning process in general is that people can attach to ideas when they're in a linear story, or if you can tell a story and you can go from point A to point B to point C. And I've been fortunate within this scheme to coach every single position in this offense. And whether you're dealing with different players or different personalities, that is one true common denominator, is that you have to have a starting point of understanding that you can bridge to a next point. Beyond that, tape, video, edited cut-ups, and organizing them so that you can battle that ADD issue that was aforementioned. Those things are powerful things that will be prominent within with our coaches, that we really invest our time, but understand that how valuable the player's time is, how short-term attention spans are. You better bring some energy. You better entertain them while getting them to learn whatever it is. But you always have to listen, ask questions, see if they get it, and adjust.
Hi, Mike. Ruthie Polinsky. I'm with NBC6. I will say, welcome to Miami.
Finally.
Yeah, there you go. I guess you've spoken so much about your mentors and colleagues and so many people who have had so much influence on you as a coach. What are some of the leadership qualities that those men, maybe women, have impacted and influenced you? And how do you hope to combine those qualities with kind of your unique, fun personality?
Oh, well, I didn't know it was fun. That's fun to hear. Early on in coaching, it's one of the reasons I feel confident up here today, and what really has helped me go through the entire process of adjusting to different positions and growing as a coach was something that was said to me early. You know, you're a college kid coming out of Yale, and I know Yale has really sick athletes, but when I was 23 and I was in charge of assisting Kyle with receivers, and I needed to coach Andre Johnson in his prime. And I remember thinking, like, all right, I think he's going to listen to me, but we'll see. And then you find out it's the simplest formula ever known to man, something you guys can all relate to, something that is why all this conversation about will people listen or will he lead and stuff, it's a very simple formula. You establish with them early that you can help them with their dream. If you can establish with them that you have value towards their goal, I mean, they have unbelievable pressure on them with a career span that they know is finite. So if anybody can help them towards their ultimate goal of being on an NFL team, which is their identity, staying on an NFL team, making their career last longer, making money for their family, doing things that are bigger than themselves, they'll listen to anybody with a pulse if you can help them. And that fundamental tool I've applied across the board with the other little mode of wisdom that I received, which is people respond to authenticity. So I've been working at my personality my entire career, which is what you're seeing right now. That was established with me early, that people can smell when you're trying to be something you're not, and people respect when you are who you are. And that, because that was given to me early, a tool, I was blessed to have that instilled in me, and it's really carried me through every position I've had, every team that I've gone to, and so I know for a fact that it stands the test of time.
Hi, Coach. Down in front. Josh Moser, Channel 7. Congratulations. We'll switch it up from welcome to Miami. Wow. Even though I would love to say bienvenido a Miami.
Oh, no.
You're ready.
You're freezing me up. I don't know what
I
to
don't
do.
know. for the fans, this organization hasn't won a playoff game in more than 20 years. Why are you the person that will be able to do that?
I mean, why not? Like, it's not about me. It's about me, my relationship with players, but it's not an individual ordeal. This is a community of people, a whole group of men, and to me, I see it as an opportunity, really. I know it's obvious to me how true of football fans the Miami Dolphins fan base is, because they haven't won a playoff game in 20 years. But you can feel the passion, you can feel the interest. And that just makes it all the more exciting, because how great will that feel when collectively we can get it done? And that obstacle is more of something that can really facilitate the end goal, because it's a bigger prize. And you just don't worry. I mean, what does the last 20 years have to do with this year? Unless we can take some of those points from those years and apply them to this year, it's irrelevant. It's a group of men trying to do a common goal. And I don't really look at the past history, except like, hey, it's just going to be that much more gratifying for everyone, and the players can feel that. And I think the players and the coaches alike, that will really galvanize them to go after that.
Hey, Mike in the back.
Mike in the back, what's up?
I'm Yanni from WPBF, West Palm Beach. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good. I know you're in a different conference and you didn't play the Dolphins last year. How much of their game tape did you watch or have watched since you were preparing for this job? And do you feel fortunate to inherit a winning team? Most first-year coaches aren't in that situation.
I'd hope I'd watch a lot of it, and which I did. And I did play against the Dolphins in 2020, and we don't need to talk about that game at all. I'm the head coach of the Dolphins now. We kicked the 49ers something. But no, it's part of the process. You need to know what you're getting into. You need to gather information to understand what the team has gone through. All the game tape, all the situations. It's important to me to understand what to emphasize moving forward. And what I saw was a defense I didn't want to go against. What I saw was a collective group of people that I could, from the tape, I knew they loved football. And that is such a key component that people undervalue, because there's so many dollars, there's a lot of fame out there for players, but the teams that win, the people love football, and you can feel it, and it's visceral. And to win 8 consecutive games, I think it was, to end the season, is you could see players playing hard. You could see a defense that, again, I'm glad that is our defense. And you could see a ton of talent, guys that weren't listening to the noise, that were trying to win games. And there's a lot of guys that want to get better. Offensively, there's tools, and my job is to help facilitate with all the other coaches and players to put together a product that reflects really what the Miami Dolphins are about.
We're going to go to final questions here. Safid and then Hal.
Hey, Mike, Safadine, USA Today. Your ethnicity has been a topic of conversation since your hiring. I wanted to ask, how's your experience growing up as how you identify? How has that experience been? And do you think getting a job like this sets an example for people just like you who have the same life experiences?
Yeah, it's been very odd, to tell you the truth. This idea of identifying as something, I think people identify me as something, but I identify as a human being. And my dad's black, so whatever you want to call it. I know there's a lot of people with a shared experience but it doesn't make, it's weird that it comes up because I've just tried to be a good person, and I think my background opens my eyes a little bit. I don't have any real experience with racism because, I think you identify me as something close to, I don't know. But I know my mom experienced it when she married my dad. I know my dad experienced it, and that's in my family. But I guess that makes me a human being that can identify with other people's problems.
Final question, Hal.
Hi, Mike. Hal Habib with the Palm Beach Post. And I will say for the last time, welcome to Miami. I want to take you way back. We all read the stories about you riding your bicycle to Broncos practice. What was it that made you want to do that? What made you go from being a fan to possibly a student of the game to trying to learn from what you were seeing out there? What inspired you to get into this business?
I appreciate that question. Side note, the irony is that story, my address was on 27th Avenue in Greeley, Colorado. And here we find ourselves 27th Avenue. So it kind of brings it full circle. But, it's interesting being an only child in anywhere really, but in Colorado, I grew up in a town of like 70,000 people, and I didn't really have much to do. I guess there was a park with a lake with a lot of goose droppings that I could go play at, but other than that, like the Broncos were the big deal. That was, and again, when I was younger, it was cool to watch something where there was guys from different ethnicities working together. It was the first picture I had of that, which, I noticed when I was at my grandma's house. That it was, so that was kind of intriguing. Football in general, I liked football cards, and I was just obsessed with the Denver Broncos at the time. So all I wanted to do was get autographs and be around them. And I was and continue to be pretty obsessive compulsive. So I'd ride there about 7 o'clock in the morning and get as many autographs as I could and stay there till 7 at night and ride back home. But when I did, in doing so, I think it built up the game of football in my eyes. I think I had an appreciation for the amount of work guys did, because I'd get there at 7 and I'd watch them walk from the cafeteria to I can't remember the facility's name, but to the gym and get dressed for practice. Then I'd watch them go practice. I'd try to get autographs when they'd come back in behind the yellow rope. And then I'd watch them go to the lunchroom and then turn back around and go do the same thing again in 2 days. And I think it built sort of this idea that cool things you have to work for in that process. So I wanted to be a pro football player. But I had I don't know, I had a good awareness level at a young age. The story is true. I wrote inside in my Little League helmet that I will be in the NFL someday, and I had every sticker of every single team. I didn't say I'd play in it. And as you get older, you just figure out that, hey, if you want to be good at something, you better be passionate about it. And my OCD made me passionate about one thing, and I chose to go after it.
Okay. All right. I guess that was it. Damn. That was abrupt. That was okay. All right. All right. Well, there you go. That's the head coach, Mike McDaniel, addressing the Meteors. Damn. I guess they had a time limit or something, and then they ran out of time or something. All right. There you go. Man, we got a lot of things to cover about McDaniel. We do want to remind you, by the way, 1-800-ALARM-ME for your protection of your family and your business. Call Sloman's, proud sponsor of our program. And right now, the first 40 Big O listeners will get a free doorbell camera, 1-800-ALARM-ME. It connects to your Sloman's home security shield. And folks, we're going to give you a customized home security system, professional installation. When you use their low-cost central station monitoring, you're going to get an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 arm doors, and a backup battery. Plus, if you're the first 40 Big O listeners right now, and we've got plenty, 1-800-ALARM-ME. We have a link below that you can use right there, and that also gives us credit if you use the link. But if you call 1-800-ALARM-ME, make sure you tell them that the Big O Show sent you. Sloman's Home Security. Protect your home like we do in the Alzagari family. We protect our home. We protect our family. We protect our doggies. We got cameras inside. You'll love that Sloman's Shield and the free doorbell camera for the first 40 Big O listeners right now. 1-800-ALARM-ME. All right, let's do this. We're here at the top of the hour. I want to get into a bunch of the stuff that was said by Ross, by Grier, and especially by Mike McDaniel. Let's break it all down to start off hour number 2, coming to you live from Hialeah Park, baby. We're out here in the second floor poker room. Come on by and say hi. Would love to talk a little sports with you, take a picture, whatever it is. Come on by. Remember, Sunday, the big game will be broadcasting at 4 o'clock. Come out, pregame show. As we get you ready for the big game, we're going to be out at Champion Sports Bar, and that is at the Airport Marriott, 1201 Northwest Lejeune Road, that is, and it's right off of the 836 and Lejeune Road, literally right next to it, and it is a super, super cool bar. I think it's a hidden gem, actually. It's beautiful. It's in the second building in the back, not the original Marriott. The second building in the back, the new one, it's in the first floor. It is gorgeous, man. And we'll be out there, Sean and myself. We'll be doing the pregame show. We'll have some guests for you getting ready. You can enjoy some great food. And, you know, there'll be stuff on the TV to watch. That's for sure. So come on out, man. Join us. And we'll be at Champion Sports Bar this Sunday, starting off at 4 o'clock. All right, let's take a break. Let's break everything down to start off hour number 2 right here on the Big O Radio Show.
When you're ready to purchase a new home loan or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee, and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today, 786-802-1727, or online at adreamlending.com. Viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
The Big O Radio Show is brought to you by Caneswear. Go to Caneswear.com, where all orders over $99 get free shipping. Sloman's Total Home Security. Protect your home with the best in the business. 1-800-ALARM-ME for the company serving America for nearly 100 years. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Tommy B. Butts Junior Enterprises.com. Licensed roofing contractor. 100% financing is available. Go to Tommy B. Butts Junior Enterprises.com.
The Big O Radio Show originates from the Okcoin studios. Invest a little time and save big. Just set the recurring buy and pay, 0 transaction fee after your first purchase. The Big O Radio Show is mastered by executive producer Sean Stanley from the Okcoin studios. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
we are ready to go and ready to talk a little bit about this press conference. There's a lot of things to unwrap. First of all, it was nice to have a human being up there on the podium. It was nice to see somebody that actually gets it and can answer stuff. When he was asked about how he adapts his offense to players constantly and how the offenses evolve and being part of the different offenses from Kubiak to Shanahan, these are things you would have never gotten from Flo. That's stuff that he gives you a little piece of who he is so you can understand what he went through. And when he was talking about when they had never, they didn't know anything about the zone and they had to then go hardcore and study everything as a coaching staff to get better. And to me, these are things that are just absolutely fantastic because we saw an offense that did not have enough creativity, an offense that did not suit what that quarterback brings to the table. And that's one of the things that I got from that conversation with McDaniel, that this is a guy that can tell you something and still leave meat on the bone, but he does, with Flo, it was almost like he was always crafting his answers so he would tell you nothing and also not put himself in any kind of corner where you would question it, right? And I thought it was actually pretty cool. And I didn't realize that he worked for Chris Grier's dad. So that's another thing that you look at and you say, okay, well, Chris Grier had a little more insight on this guy than even we did because obviously his dad knows him from his earlier days coaching. So you're going to have a perspective from the old man and from Chris. So you had two generations of people and in the family that actually had, an experience with Mike McDaniel, and they could communicate and talk a little bit about that as he's running his coaching search. And I thought that was actually really, really cool. And the other thing that I like about is he constantly talked about teaching, constantly talked about getting the team involved. And one of the things that I talked about throughout the year was the coaching was terrible. The offensive line wasn't doing their job. The running game wasn't doing their job, all of those things. And you see what he was talking about. He was talking about not having an ego, not being a Mr. I know it all. Use the people around you, the best play callers. Use the people around them. So we're not having Mr. Flo come in and I know it all. No, this is a guy that's going to hire people that he also is going to listen to because he's not going to have all the answers. No coach is going to have all the answers. Shula wasn't going to tell Bill Arnsberger how to run his defense. He didn't have to. That's why he hired Bill Arnsberger, because he hired somebody that he knew was a great coach in his own right, or Mel Phillips, or whoever he had around him more often than not. Not every time, Tom Olivatati, but you know what I'm saying. And so I love the fact that this is a guy, when he was talking about, well, it's not all on the quarterback. Somebody better block. Somebody better catch the ball. Somebody better run. And these are the things that I was kind of talking about, that you can't put the weight of the world on the guy behind the center. We did that with 13, and it didn't work out. 13 needed help, and he couldn't get a championship because he didn't get the help. And that's exactly what McDaniel was telling you in that conversation. Yeah, no, the quarterback's got to play. Oh, for sure. He's got to get his job done. Yeah. Somebody better block. Somebody better run the ball. Somebody better catch the ball. The defense better stop somebody, right? Didn't he say that? Because it's a team game. And he's right about that. Although it was kind of funny when, why are you I think it was Moser that asked, it says, why are you the guy to lead him? Well, it's not about me. But then technically he had to say, well, it's about me trying to get the people around all that. It is, in the end, it's going to be about him. Okay. He looks like the kind of guy that's going to deflect credit, and he's going to he looks to me like the guy at the podium that is going to say, hey, our assistant running backs coach had that play. And he said all week it would work, and I used it, and sure enough. And that's what I like, man. Because it's a team game on the field, it's a team game in the locker room, it's a team game in the classroom. It's a team game either way. Coaches have got to learn how to play with each other. I'm not talking about that kind of playing with each other. You know what I'm saying? Things that didn't happen under Flo's direction. That's why he was constantly changing coaches. And I love the fact that he talked about finding teachers, people to teach Tua, to teach the players, to get there to communicate with them. All of these things. This guy sounded, well, no, this guy is a human being. Let me not, because I don't believe any of this is for show. I don't believe any of this is, just what's that called? Damn it, what's the word I'm looking for? A facade. This is not a facade. This is real. And that's what I did like about what I saw with Mike McDaniel. By the way, Stephen Ross, buddy, look, you're a terrific owner because you'll spend and you'll do whatever you have to do. But on these press conferences, just say, hey, good morning, Dolphin Nation. Thank you all for your incredible patience and your support all of these years. We really appreciate it. We think we got it right here. Here's our new head coach, Mike McDaniel, and get the hell off the podium. That's all. That's all you got to do. Steven, we don't need to hear from you. By the way, Mike McDaniel's already in, right? Because he calls him Steve. So good get there by my man Sean. He goes, hey, he calls him Steve. Not even Steven. Like, damn, dude's right in there. I guess when they hand you a couple $1,000,000, you can call him whatever the hell you want now. So I like what I saw. I like what I heard. Obviously, it's the opening press conference, and everything is all right now in this world, and I get it. But for me personally, I love the guy. I love the fact that he called it a dream job. I love the fact that he is pumped up about working for Tua. There's a lot of good vibes that you're getting from all of this. And now it's up to him to build the staff and get this thing going. You know what I was laughing at, because he was talking about how beautiful this facility is. And he was comparing it to an SEC facility. That tells you where the SEC is, that scouts and coaches that are constantly traveling, they walk into Georgia and LSU and Alabama and going, damn, we don't have this in San Francisco. We don't have this in Baltimore. We don't have this in Miami. We don't have this. It's like, that shows you how badass the SEC is. That Mike McDaniel's going, damn, our facilities are so good. They're at SEC quality. I thought that was awesome. I think if you're the commissioner of the SEC, you're like sitting up there going, yeah, bitch. That's right. NFL looks up to us. Yeah. Yeah. We got all 32 fools visiting our conference, finding out what we need to improve our facility. Hey, what are you guys doing now in your facilities? Well, and that's it. So you go to the SEC to find out what is top notch when it comes to facilities. You want the second best facilities in pro sports, you go to the NFL. You want the number one facility in pro sports, you go to the SEC. I was laughing my ass off when I heard him say that. I go, damn. By the way, I loved that he was emotional. I loved that, family means something to him. I love that the players communicating means something to him. Connecting with people means something to him. I'm a big believer in that, because that's the only way that you really can develop relationships with anyone, is by connecting with them, because that way you can meet on common ground and you can communicate and you can tell each other what you need and you can support each other. That way, when the bad times come, you overcome them easily. When there's no communication, when there's no support, when the bad times come, it creates chaos. And I like the fact that foundationally, relationships are important to him because they should be important to all of us. Not just because you're married, not just because you have your boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, but it's important with your children. It's important with your grandparents. It's important with your parents. It's important with your boss. It's important with your partner in work. It's important with your employees. It's important every way possible. And it means, you could tell it truly means something to him. So I thought that was actually really, really cool to see the human side in the guy, because, man, we've dealt with the robots, we've dealt with the idiots, we've dealt with the, I don't know, the horse's asses at times, because that's what I have to say Saban was at times, a horse's ass. We've dealt with the tyrants at times where, Jimmy could be a tyrant at times. And then obviously Flo, oh my God, that's like talking to a wall. It's just good to have like somebody that actually, it looks like they're normal. By the way, the Welton Rayom text line is 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. Remember, you can make a donation on the program, Cash App or Venmo. That's Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show at Cash App or Venmo. That's Cash Big O Show. They're on Cash and Venmo. What else do I have here that I thought was cool? I know he was asked about the issues and the red flags, and he should be asked about that. It's normal to ask about that. And he kind of glazed over it. And in the end, why should he give a crap? That's not going to affect him. This isn't going to be a football team that's going to lack any money or resources, right? And in the end, I told you that the NFL is going to stand behind Stephen Ross because it's more important for the Shield to be protected than the Dolphins. So I don't think the Dolphins are really going to be hurt by this unless Brian Flores has tangible evidence. And so far, we have not heard or seen anything of tangible evidence. So when it happens, then we can see, that'll be a problem. But if it's not, so for him personally, this thing's going to be in court for years. So what does he care? If he builds his staff, it's not like they're going to lack any money. Steve is going to write all the checks they need. They have their draft picks. So what does he care? If he builds his staff and he wins, what happens on the periphery doesn't matter to him. And it shouldn't matter to him because meanwhile, he's building his resume. There's only 32 of these jobs. And if he has a front office that's going to work with him and get him the players, should be all right. And if he has an owner that is going to pay for whatever coach he needs, then he's going to be all right. So for him, the issues, first of all, the race isn't an issue with the Dolphins. So that part, throw it out the window. And the pay for lose, well, although I will say this, I got to end it with the lighter side of all of this, okay? Where he was talking about how that Stephen Ross is a guy that will do anything to win, that he'll give them any resources, any commitments, all of that, right? So he saw no issue. He saw no red flags for him. And of course, Stephen Ross will do anything to win. He'll also do anything to lose, apparently. I don't know. It all depends on Flo, right? So, let's remember, Stephen will do everything to win, and he'll even pay you to lose. Reportedly. Okay? Allegedly by Brian Flores. So, I mean, you're the guy. Well, this guy will pay to win, pay to lose. I can't lose. Now, but there was a lot of good things I saw in the press conference. In the end, he's got to prove it on the field and get it done that way. We all know that. I mean, there's nothing new to all of that. Let's see. What else do we have? Oh, did they cut off the presser? Well, it was the last couple questions. They did say that, so it looks like the presser ended right there and then. And they cut it off. What else do we have here? Let me see on the chat board. Hunter Butler, thank you for the love on the super chat. He says 27th Avenue. It was meant to be, fellas. What does that mean? 27th Avenue? It was meant. What?
In his story where he said he began as a kid, the facility, I guess, was on 27th Avenue.
Oh,
the Dolphins'
yes.
new complex now where their thing is right off of 27th Avenue.
Right, I
So
got you. Okay.
Brought the story full circle.
I got you. Okay, now I get it. Nice job, Hunter. Big O, what do you think about the guy TD Finn's talk? I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, let's see. What else do we have here? Stop talking Flo. He's a human just like all of us. May not like him, but he's human. Disgusting. Hey, dude, we rip everybody. So we're still ripping Wanstead. We're still ripping Tom Olivadotti, you idiot. And let me rip you, you moron. Who the hell are you to tell me who to rip and not rip? I'll rip you too also, PSJ. Aren't you the dumbass that said he didn't make the calls earlier, I think, on the chat board? We rip everybody, bro. We're still ripping Tannehill. The hell are you talking about? We're ripping Harold Miner still. Okay? We rip Billy. We rip Cunningham and Chaffel, and they're both dead. The hell are you talking about, bro? You obviously don't know this show. Let's see. What else? What else do we have here? The street he grew up on is the street the Miami. Oh, yes, I got. No, yeah, I got it now. It was cleared up. It was cleared up for my slow ass on that one. Still don't understand Floater's motivation in slamming the door on any future head coaching jobs. He's an angry dude, bro. Oh, when's the first time we'll see a coach and Tua together? Mini camps. That's it, bro. Right after the draft. Remember, you'll have that. Well, no, Tua won't be there because that'll be the rookie camp with only free agents. It'll be the It's the second mini camp after is when Tua will be there with. Although knowing Tua and his crazy ass, he might be there in that initial mini camp just to go out there because he's pretty dedicated. You know, I know Flores doesn't know that, but then again, he hated him. So what the hell? King Truth goes, please stop being mean. LOL. Let's see what else. I like what McDaniel had to say. I think the players will also appreciate what McDaniel says. The players will appreciate winning. That's all they appreciate. Winning. And guess what? He also answered that. If by the way, you guys need to watch Travis Wingfield's interview with the coach yesterday. I think it's called the Drive Time Podcast, and Travis does an excellent job with that. You guys need to watch that interview because, listen, I get it. He works for the team and all that stuff, but Travis is one of the few people I've ever seen working for a team, okay? Not that he's going to put himself in any kind of an uncomfortable position because he can't, dude. The guy's got to protect himself. But what I love about Travis is that for us football junkies, see, that's the thing. Travis Wingfield is not for everybody. If you're just a borderline on the fence football fan, you don't know much about that, Travis Wingfield will go right over your head because he's too smart for you. But most of us that are like hardcore football fans, that's what Travis does an excellent job of. That he while he works for the team, he still gives you plenty of nuggets and insight and IQ about the team, stats, things like that, different way of looking at it. Obviously, he's so into analytics and all of that. He's an analytics nut. So he's definitely in that, and he helps you in a lot of those areas. So I get it. You're not going to get, because team stuff. You go to a Panthers, a Heat, a Marlins, a Dolphins, Inter Miami. They're not going to get into controversies. Why would they? It's their own team stuff. But Travis is one of those guys. Very few exist, by the way, not just in the town, nationally, that can give you a lot of meat on the bone, and you get to find out about your team and some kind of insight or something like that without having to cross any kind of dangerous territory that I would do instead. You know what I mean? So Travis does an excellent job. Check that interview out. For those of you that are hardcore, you should check that interview out. He did a really, really good job with it. Let's see. What else do we have here? Big O McDaniel is so articulate with his answers. Your insiders are going to be writing novels after the pressers. Nice change for them. Nice change for us, too. Because we get a human being, dude. We get somebody that actually it got to a point with Flo that those pressers were a joke. And he went completely out of his way to make sure he said nothing. And listen, if you want to be Bill Belichick, that's fine, but give me the championships and then do nothing. All right, I can live with that. But if you can't even get to the playoffs and you're going to be a major D-bag, get out of here. David Triana says, I am waiting for Omar to ask McDaniel a question, and he makes a reference to something that'll go right over Omar's head. You know it's coming. Oh, that's true. That is so true, because McDaniel's got some wit, and he's funny. I like it. And he was saying, I'm waiting for somebody to start singing the verse of Welcome to Miami. Yeah. Will Smith. What Josh Moser did, yes. He's,
I don't think he caught that.
Right.
He's like, oh, you threw me off of the stage.
Right. And then McDaniel was like, yeah, that's the one area, that's my weakness. That's my weak spot. I don't have any Spanish in me. I gotta start learning some Spanish. He was probably saying, I gotta learn. The good thing for McDaniel is my people don't really cut into that sport much. So it's all right, bro. There aren't a lot of Cuban left tackles. There just aren't a lot of Cubans playing quarterback and offensive line and wide receiver. So he's all right. He's good, bro. My Puerto Rican people, my Dominicans, my Venezuelans, we're not making it to the NFL much. You know what I'm saying? A few Mexicans sneak in there, but he's not going to run into a ton of Spanish on the football field. So he's all right there. He's all right there. Frank, what is this? Frank Styles. Thank you, sir. Appreciate the love on the super chat. Very nice of you. Thank you, Frankie. God. What else do we have? Send Poupard a link. He is ready to go. So we can have Alan Poupard ready to go here and join us now and talk a little press conference. Okay, we'll get Alan Poupard on. A Lenny Locksmith, West Palm Beach, gives us a little high five. He knows I like the stickers. I like it. And gives us some love on the super chat. And I think Lenny the Locksmith also ends up getting a plug at the same time. So that's like a commercial, right? Lenny the Locksmith in West Palm Beach. Have you been locked out of your house? Not because your wife locked you out? Call Lenny the Locksmith. He's ready to unlock you. There you go. Lenny the Locksmith. Oh, thank you for all the years of entertaining and informing us. Thank you. Thank you, Frank. I appreciate you, man. hopefully many more years to come in this format, which is a lot better and allows us to freely talk and have the best insiders and the best conversations that you will not get anywhere else. So I appreciate it. Thank you, man. We are continuing to work hard. Hopefully, we'll get some good news today on some stuff that we've been working on to bring to the forefront for everybody. There's a whole bunch of things that we're working on that in the next week I could surprise you with like tons of new news. There's like 3 different shows that we're working on that we're trying to add. One's a once a month one, the other one's a weekly one, and the other one's another weekly one. So just all kinds of stuff that we're trying to add. We're just continuing. We're trying to just continue the growth process of all of this, man. That's it. So what else? Big O, do you think Grier's dad gave him the inside scoop on McDaniel, which is why we're the only team to interview him? I don't know, my man. It's a great question, but there's no doubt it helped him in getting insight about McDaniel. Devin Jordan says, thank you for some love on the super chat, Devin. Big O, I love the hire with McDaniel, but just playing devil's advocate, I'm only concerned is how does he handle adversity when the team loses or penalties? Adversity, penalties, building a staff, consistently winning, replacing your staff when you lose people. There's so much that every young coach has to go through, and we'll never know until they actually are in the middle of all of that. Let's ask Alan Poupard. He's going to join us next with our Sports Grill Miami Dolphins report.
Let's get ready to talk Dolphins football. It's the Sports Grill Miami Dolphins report with Sports Illustrated's Alan Poupard. With locations throughout South Florida, Sports Grill is the home of the special grilled wings. Check out our sponsored locations in Miami on Bird Road and 114th and in Miami Lakes in the Royal Oaks Plaza. Here's Miami Dolphins insider Alan Poupard.
Is ready to rock and roll. How you doing, my friend? You hanging in there?
I'm doing great. How are you, bud?
Very good, very good. First of all, your initial thoughts of the Mike McDaniel press conference.
As press conferences go in terms of introducing new head coaches, it was pretty much par for the course. His personality isn't. He's like very cerebral, like dry sense of humor, quick wit. Like love the guy's personality, but if you were looking for a rah-rah guy who's going to get you excited in his introductory press conference, that I'm not sure that's his personality. It's not like Dan Campbell and what he did in Detroit. It's completely the opposite. No, but he said
you want this, right? You don't want that. That has no substance. That gets old like really fast. This is Pat Riley. This is Jimmy Johnson. This is the gift that keeps on giving. The cerebral guys, because what people don't know is, while Jimmy was a hard ass and all that stuff, he's a psychological genius, dude. He can play that game, and he knew how to play it, and so did Pat Riley. Pat Riley is the greatest coach I've ever covered in my life. He's the guy that knew how to handle his players, handle the media, send messages, use us. I mean, there was no master better than Pat Riley I've ever seen in my life. But I'd rather have the cerebral guy than the raw guy like a Mike Tice and a Dan Campbell and those kind of guys that Ray Rhodes. That shit gets old quickly, dude. There's no substance there.
Well, but you have to show some substance for the guys to keep following you. I think there's room for both. If you ask me which one I prefer, yeah, give me the guy who's can come up with the great schemes and all that.
No, and he's going to fill your quote sheet, dude. He's going to fill your quote sheet. He is.
Oh,
the rah-rah guy doesn't fill your quote sheet. He doesn't give you enough substance to do the stories that you guys are going to do.
Dude, Dan Campbell is by far the best football coach in terms of providing quotes in all of my years of covering the NFL. And I've been at this for a long time. There's not a close second. So those
are the Neanderthal quotes, bro. Those are
not even that, dude. Seriously, the problem because if we're talking quotes, dude, I love the hire from a professional standpoint. Will he become a great head coach? Nobody knows.
Oh no, yeah, no, that yeah.
Well, correct. From my perspective, I absolutely adore the hire because yeah, he's really interesting. I love his personality.
You got a human being. You got a human being on the podium
correct,
today.
Correct. I mean, he's self-deprecating. He's very quick and all that with his sense of humor. You know, he's the type of guy I could be buddies with him like very easily. We did a little meet and greet with him after the press conference was over, and man, if you don't like the guy, if you don't off your first impression of him, something's wrong with you. But having said that, again, as far as the overall like message to everybody, because I already saw like some people complaining on social media that he sounded lame and all that. Well, you're not fine. He didn't win the press conference. Who cares? I mean, let him win games, and we'll worry about the rest later.
What did those people say about a Flo press conference? Have they seen a Flo press? I mean,
yeah.
if he didn't win the press, then what did they say about Flo, bro? Because I mean that.
That's a great point. That's a great because that was eons better than anything Flo ever produced.
Flo never even came his best press conference never came close to that. I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, that's just I've seen a lot worse. Joe Philbin's press conferences were not good either.
Correct.
Man, I can come up with some real doozies. That one overall. Now, listen, again, it's all about substance. The rest of it doesn't really matter. But you know what I also liked, and you tell me if you noticed this also. He's a very wee guy, and
totally.
And it's about teaching. It's about surrounding yourself with good people. I love the line he used that a great play caller it uses the people around him. So this is a guy that's going. I love this because he's going to bring in people that are going to help him, and he's open to people helping him. He's open to hiring people who may be his equal or even better, which again, I think was a problem with the prior person. Well, it almost felt like everybody had to be below him to be part of his staff.
Well, I think you're talking about somebody who's very secure in his skin. I think he's a guy who also, I mean, again, he makes fun of his of himself quite a bit, especially when he's talking about his football career when he played at Yale. But it's self-deprecating, so I think he's fully conscious of his strength, his weaknesses, what he's got, and he's very secure. And he also understands he's a very sharp guy, but he doesn't know everything, and that's going to help him big time when it comes to calling plays and everything, really.
You got to admit, as a writer, you got kind of sexually aroused when he admitted that his staff knew nothing about the zone run and that they all had to learn. And he showed you like a human part element, right? It wasn't that a great, because I'm sitting there going, most coaches would never tell you this kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Correct.
And I think I love it because it shows the human side of it. It shows the job that he has in front of him at times that maybe fans don't realize. They think all these guys know everything and they all have to go learning. And that entire staff, which was a bunch of smart guys in that staff, and none of them knew this. You know what I mean? I would imagine, because I've done this job for so long and I know how you guys think. I thought of all of you guys right away. I go, these guys are going to love this guy because this is how he fills your book. This is how you're able to write an article today and then go back to your notes and write 2 more articles the next 2 days because there's just other stuff there and other directions you can go in. And I thought in an introductory press conference, he went in personally. He talked about Tua and he talks about, coaching and all that. I thought that was huge, dude.
No, and then a couple of points I want to make here is that the one thing he did, and that not every coach does, and let's just say the last coach didn't do it, he gives you anecdotes. Like the DRG3 anecdote was fabulous. You got coaches who talk in nothing but coach speak and generalities and basically don't tell you anything. And beyond the fact that, to me, this was an example of showing, that they don't know everything and all that. It's a great story that people can relate to. And then in addition to that, that shows you that his scheme is adaptable. And to me, I was impressed with his idea of like, okay, we're going to fit the scheme to the players we have. It's not like, okay, everybody adapt to our scheme, and if you don't fit our scheme, bye.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So
can I-
so that
can I-
now,
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm
no, I was
sorry.
going to say, so now that makes me take a step back and think maybe, well, this is where Mike Gesicki comes in, because if he's going to run what they did with the 49ers, pretty much like as a carbon copy, Mike Gesicki's not a fit. Well, if he looks at Mike Gesicki realistically and goes, well, we got a really tall tight end who can catch the ball, could be a one-on-one matchup nightmare, could be good in the red zone. Let's see how we can use him. Then there certainly is a place for a Mike Gesicki. So, he's very impressive as a dude.
And to piggyback on that story, and I've told the story before, some people may know it and some may not. RG3 was not wanted by Shanahan. So when he tells you that nobody knew it, that's because they didn't coach that. And Shanahan was so pissed that the owner was in love with RG3, he then went and took Kirk Cousins in the 4th round. It's the same thing that happened in Dallas. Jimmy didn't want Troy Aikman. Okay? It was what's the name of the older gentleman that's still with the NFL working?
Gil Brandt?
Gil Brandt stood on the table, fought with Jimmy, screaming at the top of his lungs, Jimmy, you have to take him. And then half the personnel department in the Dallas Cowboys were like, what are you doing, Jimmy? You got to take this guy. So Jimmy reluctantly went against his idea, and he let Gil Brandt make the call, and they took Troy Aikman. And then in the supplemental draft, he went and took Steve Walsh anyway. And then once he saw Aikman was good, he traded away Steve Walsh. So up until the supplemental draft and going into the regular season, he wasn't convinced Aikman was a guy. Aikman had to convince Jimmy. Same thing happened in Washington. They never wanted to draft RG3. They wanted to draft a regular quarterback like they normally do. And so then the owner falls in love with RG3 and wants RG3 and forces the trade and everything to get RG3. And then they're forced to learn how to run an offense for RG3 because of the owner. So that's kind of the other part of it. Like when you write that story, you're going to be able to have that element of the other story with Washington on what went on. You know,
and the boom part of that story is they made the playoffs in RG3's rookie year.
Yeah. Oh, he had a magical year, dude.
Yeah, and then he basically obliterated his knee, and then they put him back in.
Shanahan obliterated his knee.
Yeah.
Shanahan said, yeah, he's not my pick. Leave him out there. Go ahead, Haloti. Go. Have a buffet on his ass. Go ahead. All right, now I got my guy, Kirk Cousins, in there. I mean, it's just, the mastermind was at work.
No, and the other part is, as it turned out, that was a rare L in terms of scouting for Jimmy, who was great at scouting, but that one, because Steve Walsh, who was incredibly smart and pretty accurate.
He just wasn't blessed. The Lord didn't bless him enough.
Correct. He didn't have any arm. Just have any arm.
It's a Ken Dorsey thing. Both guys easily. Ken Dorsey, I give Teddy Bridgewater some credit because he kind of has the same limitations, but he's been able to get a little more out of it than those guys. But if the Lord would have given those three guys the upper echelon ability, all three are Hall of Famers in my eyes.
I agree.
That because that's the kind of players they were here. So all you need now is this, and then you're done. You got it. You know what I mean? It's a shame.
Right.
It's a shame.
No, the only difference is Bridgewater has a little bit of mobility, whereas Walsh and Dorsey slower
They
than
had none. Yeah, they had none.
I mean, woof, yeah.
No, I'm with you there. I also did you love the part when they asked him about Tua, but then he kind of turned it into, hey, remember, it's about a team thing. Somebody's got to block, somebody's got to run. The defense better stop somebody from scoring. So he kind of, in a way, wanted to, because San Fran is like that. They don't necessarily, rely on Garoppolo to bail you out. They rely on Garoppolo in the running game and the defense and everything else. It's kind of a balance. Obviously, the defense is a star of that team, but that's kind of the same thing that they've got going on where he came from.
No question. What also struck me about that comment is how how different it was than the phone call that the Dolphins pushed out on their social media platforms. The phone call to Tua, where it's almost like a cheerleading pep talk to Tua, and then he's asked about him, and it was almost the phone call that the Dolphins put on social media was almost like, let's build up the hype. And then his answer today in the press conference was like, okay, everybody slow your roll. It's not about the quarterback. It's about the entire team.
Well,
So
because when you're talking to Tua, you have to talk to him. And when you're talking to us, you're talking about them. So that's the difference.
Except that it's no longer about just the conversation with Tua once you put it out on social media. That's the message you're pushing is, again, we're jacked up. This guy's gonna work with Tua, and then they're gonna kick some butt. And now today was like, okay, it's all about the team. That struck me. But yeah, your point about Jimmy G, and the thing with Jimmy G, as I've mentioned before, is his regular season stats actually astonished me when I looked at them. I didn't realize they were that good. They're insane. I mean, his career passer rating in the regular season is over 98, which is like,
when you can block and you can run and you can defend.
Okay,
if you're a decent quarterback, you should have a good year. You should have a good year.
Okay, but again, the second point I was going to make, the issue there with Jimmy G, why the 49ers want to move away from him, which was very obvious by their trade to get Trey Lance, is that you get to the playoffs and Jimmy G's numbers completely collapse.
Yeah, but Bubba, it has nothing to do with ability. Okay? Emmanuel Sanders was open. The throw was there. You just overthrew it. It's what happens to Jimmy.
You just said it has nothing to do with ability. Of course it has
right.
to do
It
with
has
ability.
to do with some brain fart at the moment. By the way, the guy that's going to play on Sunday, that's the MO he's shaking too from Detroit. That's why he needed that moment a couple of weeks ago. So Matt Stafford needs this Super Bowl in a bad way because he's got that label also. Super talented, gifted arm, but has the brain fart all the time. And that's kind of that too. It's not a matter of ability. It's a matter of that moment, which again, San Francisco doesn't know if Trey Lance is going to be able to handle that moment. You know what I mean? Because that's what it's all about, that moment. Well, we saw Tannehill. Tannehill's not a lack of ability. It's a lack of that moment that you get scatterbrain. And that seems to happen to Jimmy, that somehow or another, man, it's an errant throw, it's an interception, it's a fumble, it's something, it's an injury. Can't answer it.
That's part of playing a quarterback. Dude, that's part of playing quarterback. And I would argue with you that Stafford has had his moment. And that long pass to set up the game-winning field goal against Tampa Bay, that was a moment.
I know that's what I'm saying. I just said that he needed that moment a couple of weeks ago for his career. And
You're talking about the Super Bowl.
And he's got to complete it with this week. He has to complete it with this week because Jimmy Garoppolo has not lived down his moment of a couple of years ago with an open wide receiver in the end zone, which could have been the winner right there. They would have
Except
won.
there's too much evidence by now. The dude has played, I think it's 5 or 6 playoff games, and it's 6 playoff games. He's had a passer rating higher than 90. 90's average. He's had a passer rating higher than 90 in one of those.
Oh, I'm not arguing with you on that.
Okay, the dude is obviously, that tells you he's a limited quarterback who will do well in the regular season. But again, and this is what makes an elite quarterback. Jimmy G's obviously not an elite quarterback. The 49ers have told you that.
Yes.
By the trade. So that's all I'm saying.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. There's no doubt. I'm just saying it's not ability. It's that other thing that you need. And that's the edge that's missing. With Tua, I think the criticism from a lot of people, including yourself probably, it's ability. You probably think maybe mentally he might be fine, but ability for some. Maybe some of you out there think it's mental and ability. I don't, because I watched them in Alabama. That's if you can do it at that level, you're good. You're good.
My problem is I have a hard time putting, and specifically, it's interesting that you mentioned that because we're just talking about Ken Dorsey and Steve Walsh, who were, let's be honest, surrounded by insane talent, which helped their college career.
Yes.
but did not help them overcome their physical limitations in the
Right,
NFL.
right,
That's my concern with Tua.
But they were this. They were
like borderline brainiacs, both of them.
No, I mean, but not just brains. What I mean when I'd say this is that in that moment, they weren't going to, it wasn't ever going to be big for them. So the only thing that only thing they couldn't overcome was the physical nature that you need at that moment. But it wasn't like what I see when you see with Garoppolo and Tannehill, that boom, the brain just and they just go scatter and they make the mistake, whatever it is. That wasn't those guys, in other words.
The decision making in crucial situations.
Right.
No, that's correct.
Yeah.
That's fair. And the truth is, at the NFL level, we haven't necessarily seen Tua really in those types of situations, other than maybe if you want to look at the finale in 2020 against Buffalo, the Tennessee game to some degree.
Yeah.
And obviously those didn't work out well. So,
No,
dude, obviously I have optimism, and there's also a lot of unknown, but I have optimism to me. And I like the fact that he's from that Washington 2013 coaching staff, which has produced Sean McVay, Matt LaFleur, and Kyle Shanahan. And you look at the track record of those guys as head coaches, that gives me a lot of optimism that this guy could be a really good hire.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. And did you like the fact that they're keeping Crossman and you keeping most of the defensive staff? It looks like, and hopefully you'll add a Fangio, which would be like the icing on the cake for that defensive. I think that would really like round out that defensive staff, because Fangio would just tweak things just to make them better because he's a freaking defensive genius. But I love that. I love that they, while this is a coaching change, you still have an opportunity to keep 2/3 of your continuity overall, and you never had any continuity in the other third anyway. So you're not really disrupting anything in this coaching change. You have a chance to have an easier transition, is what I'm trying to say, because of the way it's going.
Yeah, I will tell you this. From where I sit, I'd very, very much, I'm going to be very happy if they hire Vic Fangio to run the defense. And to me, there's one guy that's a must keep on the defensive staff, or close to a must keep, and that's Cheryl Alexander, who I think is a really good coach and is a star on the rise in the coaching ranks. He's interviewing for the Jacksonville defensive coordinator job. I think he's a keeper. The other guys, you're looking at guys, I mean, no offense to those guys, but they're like very young in their career as NFL assistants. So I don't necessarily see the necessity to keep them. If it means, bringing on Vic Fangio. As far as Danny Crossman is concerned, I'd say bring back Darren Rizzi. I know it's not going to happen, but I think Darren Rizzi is a better special teams coach.
All right, let's bring Westhoff out of retirement, bro. Let's do it. I mean, yeah, no, I'm with you there. I think you said that only because the special teams kind of took a little step back this year, right?
They took a big no, and I look at the Rick Gosselin special teams ranking every year, and I actually looked at him yesterday, and Danny Crossman in his 3 years of Dolphins were 23rd. I think they may have been 7th in 2020 when Jason Sanders had his ridiculous year, and in 2019 they were 17th or something. So it's nothing special. I have no issue with him being retained, just as I would have had no issue with him being replaced. I'll be honest with you.
Tell you, just it hurts to trade away a Pro Bowl returner. And I'm just saying.
Took you that long to get the Jakeem Grant.
Just saying, it hurts to trade away a Pro Bowl returner.
Off of one punt return is how we made the Pro Bowl.
Hey, the only punt return made for a touchdown in the NFL, bro. That's
You're
pretty
right.
special. That's like a needle in the haystack. He's the needle.
He's the needle.
We're all the haystack. I mean, that's not too bad. Chris Grier's dad, actually, I did not know that nugget, that he worked for Chris Grier's dad. That they worked together. I had no idea that Chris had a little extra insight on the guy.
No, and I didn't make the connection because I knew his father, Bobby Grier, by the way, who worked a long time for the Patriots, also worked for the Texans, which is when McDaniel spent 2 or 3 years with the Texans. So,
and he's an advisor now for the Dolphins, correct? Isn't he an advisor?
Bobby Grier? No, not that I know.
Isn't he? I thought they brought him in as an advisor. Like,
I'll double check, but then
Yeah,
that'd be news to me.
check. I think it's like not mentioned, but it's like I think it's happening or something. I don't know. I think it was this year that they had him as a consultant. I don't know. Find out, but I think he is. I'm not sure, but
Okay. I'll look into it.
yeah. But yeah, so I didn't know that. So that was actually he had a little extra insight on that.
Yep.
Well, by the way, can we do a petition for Ross to just announce and then walk away? Just don't say anything. Just announce and walk away.
I would have no problem with that.
Yeah, right. I mean, seriously,
I have no problem with that.
But you weren't surprised, right? That you guys did not get any cracks at Grier and Ross, right?
No, I had a fellow writer ask me if it bothered me, and I said I was just so insanely not surprised that no, it didn't bother me because I never expected it for half a second. And well, here's the thing: is right away they tell you their comments about Mike McDaniel, and so that's that, and you know they're not addressing the Brian Flores lawsuit. So
of course not. Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what. I mean, I guess they could have been asked more in detail about the coaching search and everything like that, which is interesting when Chris Grier mentions a multitude of candidates from both the pro and college ranks, adding that everybody was very complimentary about the talent on the roster. Well, again, what was leaked out was only 7 candidates, and Chris Grier made it sound it was like a lot more than that. So. That could have been something we could have been pressed on.
Well, they've kept some stuff away from all of us, so maybe they did do some stuff behind the scenes that we have no idea. And again, I think if you're a GM, you want to do that because you want to stash some of those interviews for future references down the line. So you might be interviewing a bunch of guys that aren't ready to be GMs now, or head coaches now, but down the line you think they could be those kind of guys. You know what I'm saying? So
Except in 2016 and 2019, the Dolphins were very transparent. They announced every completed interview for the head coaching position, and they went full radio silence on this one.
Different people running the show now, bro.
It wasn't in 2019. It wasn't the same. It was the same people running the show.
No, I know, but maybe again, lessons learned. Okay, no, you know what? This time I don't want to do it this way. We're going to do it this way now. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe it changed that way. I don't know. I don't know. What anything else stood out from this presser you want to share with us before we let you go?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Well, I mean, the main ones, calling plays.
Oh, I knew he was going to call plays. I said that yesterday. Was it yesterday, the day before? I said, this is a guy that's going to take this job and he wants to call plays because he wants to outwit that person on the other side. He loves the pleasure of doing that kind of stuff.
It makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. I mean, that's because if you're going to look at the number one quality that everybody will tell you about Mike McDaniel is he's smart. Okay, yeah. Well, that's a perfect place to show your wits and your intelligence. By all means, drop some crazy plays and some crazy schemes. I like it. I have no issue with that. But outside of
by the way, he was doing it in San Francisco anyways. We had Jennifer Lee Chan on with us 2 days ago, and she explained it that he calls all the plays to Shanahan, and Shanahan relays them to the QB. All right. Now, could Shanahan change a play or two? Of course. But you think Shanahan's changing a ton of plays during the game? No, dude. If he has Mike McDaniel calling all the plays, it's because he trusts him. So he must only tweak it very little. There's no Charlie Fry altering all your plays. Okay. You know? So actually, Shanahan really relied on him a lot in
Big
that
time.
sense. Yeah. Yeah.
And not only that, I mean, you know that because Kyle Shanahan took him from Houston to Cleveland to Washington to Atlanta to San Francisco. So obviously he loves the guy. And then McDaniel was making the point that basically Shanahan allowed him to basically like observe him the entire time, like in his duties as a head coach. Like he was almost like an assistant head coach without the title. And you mentioned that's one of the things that prepared him for this job, even though he's never done it.
Yeah, I love the fact that he's been around Kubiak, Kyle, and Mike Shanahan. He's been, that's a lot of knowledge there that he's been able to steal and then develop on his own. So I just, listen, man, we need the offense fixed, and maybe Maybe they'll get it done here, man. All right. Make sure you subscribe there at Sports Illustrated and bookmark the Dolphins page there so you can get my man Alan Poupard. And by the way, you said something about where I sit. No, you're standing. By the way, last time I checked, you're not sitting. So just want to correct you there. All right.
Wow, you got me. I'm so used to doing it from my house at my computer. Now I'm literally in the parking lot of the Baptist Health Training Complex.
And you're not sporting the Spose hat either. What's the deal with that, bro? Why you do that? You don't take the Spose hat into a facility because it's not professional. Is that what the deal?
For a press conference, with a bunch of people around me in suits and ties, which is a step too far for me. I kind of quote unquote dressed up, and that included removing the Expos hat. But next time we speak, rest assured it'll be on my head.
No, I'm sure, but I got to tell you something. You and I know that if you wear that Expos hat to the press conference, all you're going to get is love from people, because that's all that ever happens when someone wears an Expos hat. Oh, dude, Expos, cool, love it. Oh, that's awesome. Everybody loves the Expos. We eliminated them and we love them. It's the weirdest thing in the world.
Doesn't make sense. Maybe there's a guilt issue there, right?
Yeah, no, there's no, like, it's like the Sonics. Same thing.
I agree.
We go and name a burger chain after them because we miss them so much. I mean, it's just one of those deals.
The Quebec Nordiques is another one.
There you go. Not at that level, but I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. All right, follow him on Twitter at Poupard NFL and catch his work there at Sports Illustrated. Alan, thank you as always, my brother. Appreciate you.
You got it. Have a good weekend, Diggo.
You got it. You too, buddy. There you go. Alan Poupard and our Sports Grill Miami Dolphins report.
This has been the Sports Grill Miami Dolphins Insider Report with Alan Poupard, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast and never miss a report. Search Big O Radio Show on most platforms. Visit Sports Grill in our sponsored locations in Miami on Bird Road and 114th and in Miami Lakes in the Royal Oaks Plaza.
Will be joining us in hour number 3 at the bottom of the hour. Remember, we got the big game on Sunday, and on Sunday, that man right there, Sean Stanley, and yours truly, we are going to be at the Champions Sports Bar at the Airport Marriott. So join us out there, 1201 Northwest Lejeune Road, right off the 836 in Lejeune. It is a hidden gem. What a beautiful bar, man. Awesome bar. It's got a nice little patio outside. So if you want to enjoy the views outside and all that, it's in the second building, by the way, not the original building, not the original Marriott building, but the new building that they built, the second one behind. It's in the first floor. So drive around, secured free parking, great food, all that. Our pregame show will start off at 4:00. We'll have guests on the show to get you ready for the big game. So we'll talk a little Bengals and we'll talk Rams and we'll talk with you guys. So come on out, man. And it's going to be a thing. All right. We're going to be there every month broadcasting live out there at Champion Sports Bar. So that's going to be another place that we're going to be appearing at slowly but surely. We'll keep growing and appearing in different places out there throughout South Florida. So if you have no plans for Sunday in the big game, come on out to Champions Sports Bar in the Airport Marriott, 1201 Northwest Lejeune Road. Sean and I will be there probably by 3:00 easily. And we'll be on the air at 4, and we'll take you to about 6:15, and then we'll get you ready for the game. Miguel Garcia, thank you, sir. Appreciate you. We have 2 insiders today. I love how spoiled they are. How many you got today, huh? 3, 5? How many insiders, huh? You only got 6. The hell's wrong with you? You got to have at least 10 today. No, we've got 2 today, sir. We've got Alan Poupard and Marcel Louis-Jacques will be joining us at the bottom of the next hour. Gus 1388, thank you, sir, for the love. He says, Grier Sr., he was hired back in 2017. Not sure if he's still on there, though. Sun Sentinel report. I sent you a link via Twitter. Yeah, see, I told you he was hired as a consultant. But I don't know what they're doing, man. I don't know if he's still there or not or whatever. Hey, it was reported yesterday that if it wasn't Flo or Boyer that was calling the defense down the stretch, but Gerald Alexander was moved upstairs and he called the plays, maybe he needs to be the DC. You know what, dude? The head coach wasn't communicating with guys. That's why this staff, the front office, wanted to keep this defensive staff together because they actually did a decent job without the head coach, basically. The team was winning more without the coach actually communicating with them. That's how hilarious it is with the Dolphins. Okay? All right. Nature B is for me, baby. 27 vitamins and amino acids, 28 minerals, powerful antioxidants. I've been taking it for 20 years. That's why I rarely get a cold, folks. And all you got to do is go to natureb.com, hit my code Big O, and you will get free shipping. All right? I take those 2 golden capsules every single day. It powers through my day. It's great for kids. It's great for all the adults. And listen, this is a virus-filled world, right? We don't know what's the next variant and all that. So we need to boost ourselves as much as possible. Maybe some of you out there can't get the vaccine. Some of you medically, it doesn't allow you. This is a great way to boost your immune system. That's why you see that I rarely ever have a cold. Okay? Yeah, sure. I got my shots, but I have always taken those 2 golden capsules for 20 years. Makes your nails grow faster, your hair grow stronger and longer, energy all day long. So when 3, 4 o'clock rolls around and you're running out of gas, with Nature B, it's going to keep you powering through the day. Go to the website, natureb.com. Get the free shipping by using my code Big O. All right, natureb.com. Our number 3 is next from Hialeah Park. For over 16 years, EJD Construction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJD Construction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. For over 25 years, South Floridians have counted on Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises for their roofing needs. In South Florida, we battle the sweltering heat, rain, winds, and all kinds of tropical storms. That's why when it comes to protecting your family, home, or business, call Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com. 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411 and ask to speak to Tommy, the owner. They specialize in all kinds of roofs. All work fully guaranteed with the customer's complete satisfaction. A+ rated member of the Better Business Bureau. Licensed and insured. There's no buts about it. When your roof needs repair or replacement, go to TommyBButtsJr.Enterprises.com. A certified white mean contractor. The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
The Big O Radio Show is brought to you by Sports Grill. Good food, good drinks, good friends. Craig Zinn Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealership in the Southeast United States. The Fort Lauderdale Police Department. The FLPD is hiring. Go to FLPDjobs.com.
The Big O Radio Show originates from the Okcoin studios. Invest a little time and save big. Just set the recurring buy and pay, 0 transaction fee after your first purchase. The Big O Radio Show is mastered by executive producer Sean Stanley from the Okcoin studios. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty, here we are. Yeah, we got to get your mic stand. That's what we need. We got to get you a mic stand. I do have a smaller one. We'll figure one out. There we go. Hour number 3, and of course we got the big game on Sunday. Remember, Sunday will be at Champion Sports Bar in the Airport Marriott. Beautiful remodeled Airport Marriott, and we're in the second building, which is the new building that it's been up only a couple of years, and we're in that first floor, and it is a gorgeous sports bar. It is a hidden gem, so join us there on Sunday for the big game. Sean and I will be there by 3:00, so hope that you guys can join us then. How you doing, my man? How you feeling?
Big O, I'm doing great. And
Steve Calabro, by the way, joining us now. Of course, we need our wise guy picks for the Super Bowl. So
the Jersey wise guy has been in touch with me.
Yes.
He's a little bit tentative on this game.
Oh, yeah? Why?
He was wish-washy. He's afraid of, some kind of miracle. I'm going to give away the pick here. He's afraid of some kind of Joe Burrow miracle.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, he's got the moxie.
He said to me, he says, here's a guy. He doesn't realize how he's got ice going through his veins, first of all.
Yes. No, he's a money player.
And he doesn't seem to realize the magnitude. Like, I think in his mind, and this is what the Jersey Wise guy was saying, he just thinks, hey, I should win this. I won the state championship in high school. I won the national championship in college. I won the Heisman Trophy. I should win a Super Bowl.
I think some people get a little bothered with me because sometimes I give players in the SEC too much respect.
They deserve it.
But exactly.
Look, their kicker, SEC kicker. Their leading
wide receiver,
SEC. The quarterback, obviously, right? So
I was just saying, it's just like, so when I see players star in the SEC, I kind of feel good about them going to the NFL.
Look,
you know what I mean? And this is why I believe in Tua. This is why I believe that he had a great coach and he can build around him. If you know how to build around the kid, okay, that again, you're all right. Listen, you're on the other half. That's fine.
No,
there's plenty of people like you that don't believe he's going to be the guy. That's fine.
I wish we're gonna.
No, wishing is one thing.
No, but I wish that the Dolphins would have picked up Peterson as a coach. I think Doug Peterson won the Super Bowl. He was a quarterback. He's innovative. This is a guy that's going to be great for a team and for a quarterback.
Was it him or was it Frank Reich? Who lost that locker room?
Well,
see, that's Frank, the problem. That's a lot of the issues that goes on with this.
I think Peterson was a big part of it.
Yeah, no, well,
Peterson was a part. Now, look, Frank Reich.
A lot of people say that whole staff was a big part of it. But Matt Nagy, whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Look, who do we get? I mean, I'm not. It's a wait and see. We got a candidate that's a wait and see.
Right.
I'm not picking on Mike McDaniel. I don't like the fact that
no S at the end, by the way.
McDaniel, right? Mike McDaniel. Thank you very much. And by the way, I know he's of color, but I'm Italian American and I'm darker than he is.
Well,
I'm more of color than he
well,
is.
He came out like mom and not dad. I mean, that happened when you have biracial. That's the way it goes.
I guess
That's
but
the way it
like,
goes.
That's weird. It's just a weird. It's suspicious almost to me.
What's
with the
so
whole thing.
suspicious?
I think for the
It's
organization.
biracial.
No, not him. Not against Mike McDaniel.
Oh, what are you talking about?
Against the Miami Dolphin organization.
Oh, the hiring, the weird
yeah,
because
it's
he's
a
not proven.
He's not proven. He's not
but
really a
there's-
passing guy. He's a running guy.
No, but he works with quarterbacks. No, but he works
No,
with quarterbacks.
Most
but
of the years he's the running game coach.
yeah. But he calls the plays.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he does.
No, you got to check that.
No, I do check. I do check that.
Tanya, we got to check that.
I
We got to
had-
get a fact check.
My brother, I had a San Francisco 49ers reporter on, and they explained it completely. He calls all the plays to Mike Shanahan.
And Shanahan makes the call to
and
the
then
player.
and then Shanahan sends it to the quarterback. And Shanahan's not changing any plays. If he changes in a game, it's 1 or 2 or 3. He's
Yeah, I'm
not
sure he
giving.
changes occasionally.
Yeah, he's not giving that guy the response. That guy's not going to give that guy the responsibility if he doesn't believe he can
But that
make
was
a
just
call.
this year. That's 1 year.
But that's the misconception that's out there. That people, he doesn't call plays.
No, that's
and then
only
one
1
other
year.
person, but you're repeating the same thing, the misinformation that other people are repeating. And that's the problem that happens in this
All I'm
society a
saying-
lot.
All I'm saying
The
is
guy made all the calls.
he's unproven.
Okay, but he's not unproven as a play caller.
He played for a year. He played called for a year.
Okay, so and they made the playoffs.
Played-
So they had and Jimmy had a good year. Everybody had a good year on that team. The guy calls the plays.
So you like the guy?
Yeah, I like him because that's the only thing that was broken on Miami, their offense. So
Yeah,
you're not fixing any. You're not setting anything back by bringing him in. The only thing you can
Well, let's see what he
possibly do is improve it. You're keeping the defensive staff in place. You're keeping the special teams
Are they all
staff in
in
place.
place?
Yeah, they're pretty much, except they may add Fangio, and that okay. So you
That's
add
an
a
advantage.
genius
That's an advantage,
to
yeah.
help you improve the defense a little bit. So for me, I actually think that philosophically, it kind of makes sense. The puzzle they're trying to put together. They kept the continuity in 2/3 of the team, and what was screwed up is what they're trying to fix. And by the way, the Dolphins couldn't run the ball.
Big O, I'm not saying he's not going to work. Yeah, that's
Well,
true.
we
That
don't
was
even
actually a
know.
bigger-
We
That's
don't even
actually
know.
a bigger problem that they couldn't run the ball.
Yeah, the offensive
Right.
line and running game is your issue.
I just don't think it's the perfect scenario for Tua and the passing game. I think it's pretty good for Waddle.
I disagree with you because
I think it's
if you can block and run, every quarterback gets better.
I think you know who's going to
All passing games become better.
Fun to watch. Waddle.
Well, yeah, of course, because
he's-
he's got a guy that can design plays now.
Yeah, now they'll be
We'll get him out in the open
passing,
field more.
Yeah, it'll be running, passing.
They'll
cutting.
get a speed guy too on there. They're not. He's not going to be the only one.
No, but
they're going to get somebody else in the draft or sign in free agency that can scare the crap out of defenses. They'll get another guy out there.
But I'm not crazy about.
That's fine. A lot of people
no,
are like
no,
that.
No. I'm neutral on the coach. I'm rooting for Mike McDaniel. I put my money where my mouth is. I'm a season ticket holder. I'm there. I'm on board. But I'm the organization. I'm sour on.
Okay, a lot of people are.
Why? I'm going to tell you why. My wife had a situation where she had an issue with. She didn't like. There was something to do with the military service. Respect to the military service. And so she was voicing her opinion to the organization. At the time, we had 6 season tickets. We now have 4. She sent multiple emails to Stephen Ross. Multiple emails to everybody that she could get an email address to. She didn't get one response.
Why don't you talk to me? I would have put you in contact with Tom Garfinkel.
And my best friend knows Garfinkel. I was at an
I
event
know
with
Garfinkel.
but just why should
Garfinkel's
it
a
take
good
that?
dude, man.
Why should it take that?
I don't know, but I'm just saying.
I mean,
but reach out, and I would have at
So-
least. I'm sure Garfinkel would like to know if he's aware of it. Garfinkel's a really good dude,
He
bro.
is a very, very good guy.
He's a really
super good guy.
he's
but
a
all
super.
these kind of emails.
He's a super
no
pro.
response. And it was,
But he should know about that.
But maybe she made a mistake by sending the emails to the top guy, Steve Ross.
Yeah, Ross is not going to worry about stuff
But
like
he has
that.
to have somebody that answers these things.
He probably gets hundreds and thousands of them.
I don't think he gets thousands. I don't.
Okay, but if he gets hundreds, they don't have time to filter through that,
They don't
bro.
have time for their paying customers.
No, I
That's
think.
sad.
No,
That's a
I
sad
know.
thing. It's not a
but
regular
it's
guy.
hard.
It's a paying customer.
No, I get that, but if you're
Thousands of
stuck with
dollars to pay.
hundreds, it's hard. hard, man.
I get it.
It's
I'm
hard.
not. Now, what about Flores? I feel bad for him.
I don't.
You don't?
No, I mean, I kind of was talking about it for months, what he was doing behind the scenes. Nobody that was listening to this show was ever surprised that he got fired.
No,
they were then shocked, but I'm the only guy in the media in the entire nation that kept saying he's going to get fired. He's going to get fired. But whatever.
I'm not as shocked that he got fired, but he's made 3 giant accusations. I hope
He's got to prove them.
I hope he has evidence.
Well, he has no shot at proving the bias one. He's done there.
Yeah, that's going to go by
impossible.
Although the court system the system will favor him, but he's not going to prove it.
No, he won't be able to prove it. He's done there.
I think he
He
settled.
has to have if he settles, then it's BS. Then you really weren't changing. Because if you settle, that means you just took a check and you're going to sign a confidentiality agreement.
You're not going to talk to
and you're
anybody.
going to get the hell out of there because that's what those owners are going to do. They're not going to allow you to talk. So if you take a check, you're going to shut the hell up also.
I think it's going to take a long stretched out number of years, and I think he's going to end up taking a check,
If
unfortunately.
he doesn't have proof of pay to lose, he will do nothing and get nothing and be happy with it. If he has proof and pay to lose, he can bring the NFL to its knees.
Oh, that would be. And now he has.
He won't be able to prove bias with the Giants.
No,
he won't be able to prove bias with
Why not with
Denver.
the Giants? Why they're not email
because,
records or something?
Because they can hire whoever the hell they want, however they want. You can't tell somebody.
No, but
the announcement had nothing to do with it. They went on their own timeline. The Belichick text, that's up to Belichick. That's his fault.
Yeah, that's his thing.
That's the old man making a mistake on his own.
Wouldn't it sound really crappy? Wouldn't it be really crappy for the NFL if they told Daboll, "Hey, you're the coach," and then 3 days later they're interviewing Flores for a head coach? I mean, that's just crappy.
Well, if they did that, but you have to prove that. But let me tell you something, and you can't lie to me on this one, okay? So you've got 5 people set up for interviews for an assistant manager job here at the casino.
Right.
Okay? You've got 2 of them on Tuesday, 2 of them on Wednesday, 1 on Thursday. The second one on Tuesday knocks it out of the park. She's phenomenal. Super smart, experienced.
She's like a home run.
You already hired her.
Well, you
You already hired her.
No, you didn't. No,
Yes, you did.
No, you didn't.
You already hired her,
you
and
didn't.
you're saying, well, Wednesday and Thursday, let's
But
see
you didn't tell her.
No, you didn't tell her.
You don't hire her until you communicate.
Because I've been in that position.
I've never told her.
No, but my point is, listen to me. After you did that interview in the second one, in your mind, you're going, I hired her already.
Yeah, but that's normal.
She's
That's
it.
reality.
Right. That's
reality.
reality. That's my
reality.
point. And
It's
you're
like, wow,
still
we got a
going to
really good
go
one here.
and you're still going to go through the Wednesday's interviews and the Thursday interview, knowing you're already hiring the person on Tuesday. It's human nature, dude.
Well,
and then you got to wait for somebody to knock you like Mike Tomlin did that.
Well, that's why you want to have the first interview.
They were
First, second,
hiring.
first
They
and
were
second
hiring Russ Grimm. The Steelers were hiring Russ Grimm.
And then
They were hiring one of the Hogs, bro, because that's what they like to do in Pittsburgh. Blue collar,
and then
punch you in the mouth, boom, boom.
and then
Mike Tomlin sat down,
knocks him out.
blew him out of the water, and they go, "Oh, wait a minute, no, we got to go in this direction now." But that's my point.
You want to go in this direction.
Yeah, now we're going in this direction, is what I'm saying.
yeah.
But my point is, anybody that's been in a position of hiring, and you have to talk to multiple people.
I've hired thousands of people.
Exactly.
But you don't announce it.
No. I'm not saying, and they didn't announce it. But my point is,
no. Flores is alleging that they did.
I don't think he alleged. I don't remember him alleging that. No, he alleges that they already were going to hire him before that because of the Belichick. Because of the Belichick
Sham
text.
interview.
Yeah, that's right. But that's the thing. What you're doing on Wednesday and Thursday is sham. Because
you might run into Mike Tomlin.
I get it, but in your mind at that moment, it's you're kind of going through the motions. You're going, well, you got a lot to live up to. In your mind, you're going. In the back of your mind, you're going, well, Wednesday and Thursday, these people got a lot to live up to because that woman on Tuesday is awesome, and I'm hiring her.
The bar just got raised.
That's my point.
Okay, the bar got raised. But
that's
now
my
what about
point.
Stephen Ross meeting with an allegedly meeting on his yacht with
there's no proof.
Quarterback?
There's no proof.
So let me ask you a question.
The guy left.
Okay.
So it never happened.
Well,
you can't. Nothing happened.
Well, wait a second. So the meeting between Flores, the quarterback, allegedly Tom Brady, and Russ.
Never happened.
Never happened.
Never happened.
But at the time when Flores arrives, there's Brady and Russ.
No, Brady had not arrived. Flores left before Brady arrived.
So the way you can prove that is the staff on the boat.
There's no proof of nothing.
No, but that's not.
There's no
but
tampering. Nothing
the
happened.
media is saying that he walked in and he saw
No,
Brady and he left.
no, the media did not say that.
Some media is saying that.
No, it's not
Some
the
media
story.
is saying it.
Okay, listen to this media here. We're the ones that are accurate here, okay? Brady had not arrived. He told him, hey, you know who's coming? Tom Brady. And he goes, huh? I'm out of here. And he left before Brady arrived. And that's it. That's the end of the story. So nothing happened there. There's only one case here. Pay to lose. That's it. It's the only case. He's not going to be able to prove bias. He's done, cooked, history. It's over. He'll never win that
Well, they
case.
hired him.
And
in one sense, they hired him.
I'll put no. And Miami has no problems with bias.
Yeah.
That's the last 31 teams may have a problem with bias. The Dolphins are not one of them. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
A minority hired Flores. A minority that hired two other minorities to run the personnel department.
Yeah.
Marvin Allen, Reggie McKenzie, and Chris Grier are all black. And they hired a black coach, and then they hired another minority now
he's
in
Latino
Mike
and black.
McDaniel.
He's actually Latino and black.
Whatever. It
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
yeah.
There are all kinds of minorities. Who gives a rat's ass?
Yeah.
But my point is the Dolphins are loaded with minorities all over their organization. So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
the
that's not
Dolphins, they're not part of that in the lawsuit, actually. He's alleging the NFL, but
Big
it's
O,
not the Dolphins.
Is it possible that the Giants general manager, who was on the job for a week or two, was a little sloppy? Is it possible?
No, dude, the Giants general manager is the guy that was with the Bills.
I know. He was there on the job for a
So
week.
we all knew Dable was going there. The only idiot that didn't know was Brian Flores. all for 3 weeks on this show where we're accurate.
I agree with you.
We
on that
said
one.
Dable 1, Mike McDaniel 2. That's it.
Yeah.
Everybody else threw Harbaugh, and I kept telling him, Harbaugh's not in the mix. Not going to happen. Never happened, like I told you. And I told them Dable, McDaniel. And that's exactly how it went. Okay? That's it. No more.
But now, so back to the pay to lose. So now the Cleveland coach, the ex-Cleveland coach.
He's backed out completely.
He's completely waffled.
Yeah, because that's who he is. I wouldn't believe that guy as far as I can throw him anyway.
Yeah, but if he got a check, he
He
could
has-
actually incriminate himself.
He's just not a guy that has much credibility, Hugh Jackson. I'm sorry. Hugh Jackson is one of those guys that just...
But is it possible if he did take a check like he first said, and then he waffles and said not really, there'd be some record of it.
Well, he didn't
They
say
give him
check.
$100 bills.
He
They
didn't.
give him-
He said check. He said he also got the offer. But anyway, he again, no, there's nothing there because he backed out completely. And
So you think Flores has ruined his career?
oh, you know, he already ruined his career. He's done. I mean, he threw Belichick under the bus on top of everything.
Yeah, that's exactly. And Brady, to a degree, Brady. You know,
You can't even go back to a job for Papa, which all the kids go back to Papa after they get fired.
Yeah.
They all go back to Papa.
So this guy's he's
like he's got
it's
nothing.
unfortunate for him.
He'll be coaching Louisiana Toy Tech.
If he's lucky. Yeah,
if he's lucky, he'll be coaching Louisiana Toy Tech.
So what did you think of him as a coach?
As a defensive mind, yes. That's
head
where it
coach.
ends.
Head coach.
No people skills.
Yeah.
He had the same problem that, Gase had. Philbin wasn't great.
Gase was worse.
Yeah, but Philbin had no people skills. Randy Shannon had no people skills. All right, we're running out of time. All right, we need the wise guys picks.
So sorry, switch. Jersey
we
wise guy pick.
Yes.
He's going with the Rams.
Minus 4.5, I correct.
It just went to 4.
And even better.
It just went to 4.
Oh, I gotta go lay
It
the
just
bet
went to 4. I'm looking at at least the website I'm on. It was 4.5 last night. It's 4 now. And he was so. Now I just want to ask you a couple of bets. I need Big O advice.
Oh, these are
for some prop bets.
Prop bets. All right,
and I've
let's do
talked
it.
to the Jersey Wise guy, and I'd love to know what your opinion is on some of these.
Okay.
So, coin toss, heads or tails?
Heads.
I'm heads. Jersey Wise guy's tails. How much here? There's a couple of crazy ones. Will there be a drive shorter than the time it takes to sing the national anthem? There's another bet.
No. No.
Jersey Wise guys, no. I think I'm on yes. It
No.
takes them. It takes
Some
a minute
defense.
and 38 seconds on the.
There's some defense here. So yeah, no, I'm gonna go
it's
no.
a minute and 38 on the is the over under on the
Who's singing it?
Guyton, Mickey Guyton. She's
I don't know much
she's
about
a
her.
country singer. Now here's
I killed it with what was it, Gladys Knight a couple years ago in Atlanta, right? Was it Atlanta? I went with the over because I knew she was going to go.
she could have belted out a little.
And
Yeah.
she belted it on. I was like,
So,
yeah, baby, thank you.
There was there's all kinds of bets, crazy bet. This is why we need sports betting at Hialeah Park in Florida.
Yeah.
You know, the state has kind of.
We'll find out in 2024.
Well, I think we're going to get it before that.
Okay.
I think we're going to get it before it.
2020, December of 2023.
So just yeah, maybe. So I think it's actually going to be July of 2023. I really believe that.
Okay.
That's what I think. But the state, just to give your listeners an update, the state has completely messed this up. But FanDuel, DraftKings, they're out. They're done. They're fried. They're not going to be in Florida. So it's all up to the Seminoles. Now, we have a very good relationship with the Seminoles. And, you know, that it's a very good working relationship as it relates to sports betting and a lot of other things, too. And we've had minimal conversation, and it's all positive. They just got to get through the, I guess, bullshit hurdles. You know what I mean? And it's a sin because did you see what happened recently in sports betting? New York opened sports betting, and they light it on fire.
I don't even want to hear about it.
They light it up.
I know.
You know, like in Florida is going to be one of those states that, you know,
we always do the same crap.
We got 22 million people here.
Weed and sports gambling needs to be,
I mean,
both legal by miles.
But let me just read you some.
All right, quickly, no, because we got Marcel in 2 minutes. So you got.
Would any player be ejected? Will any player be ejected for throwing a punch or fighting?
No.
Okay. Will any player propose to his girlfriend on the field after
No.
the game? Will the power go out during the Super Bowl? No.
No, we're not in New Orleans.
Will a non-quarterback throw a touchdown?
No.
Okay.
No.
That's a big odds one, too. Will any punt be returned for a touchdown? No.
No.
Will any kickoff be returned for a touchdown?
No.
Will the first kickoff be a touchback?
I say yes. I say yes.
Yeah,
because the problem is that if the Rams win and say we defer, then or we want the ball and Cincinnati's kicking, that dude's going to put it in the seats.
Here's one that I think is a no. Will either kicker hit the upright or the crossbar on a missed field goal or extra point?
I'll say no.
Yeah, because they're good kickers.
No.
Will any TD be overturned by replay? No.
It could happen.
TD in the Super Bowl?
It could happen. It could happen.
What do you say?
I say no, but that's a possibility.
Will either
there.
team attempt a 2-point conversion?
Yeah, hell yeah. Please.
Will either team not punt during the game?
No. That'll be a punt.
They're both going to be punt in the first quarter.
No, there's defense.
Will it be tied? Will the game be tied after the first quarter and the half? Yep, end.
No.
That's a good one. Yeah, it's a bad odds there, too. How long will Mickey Guyton take to sing the national anthem? The over-under is 138. Anyhow, you get the idea of why there's 131 of them on the goofy little website that I'm on. And I think we need it here at Hialeah Park. Your listeners want it.
Oh,
you
everybody
want it.
wants it.
I want it. Everybody wants it. We're going to get it soon.
I just
Not
hate
soon,
that now we're
someday.
going to have to wait forever now for it again, man. It's just so ridiculous.
The Jersey Wise guy's odds on it. He's saying you're going to get it before. He says before July 2023. But
July of 2022 is far away. Now I got to wait for 2023. Get the hell
he's
out of
saying
here
before
already,
that.
man.
You had me in December of 2023. But anyhow, it's all good in the Rams. It is. But
by the way, before I let you go here, I know we had a great boxing event. Do we have anything? Do we have another event planned?
Well,
yeah, there's.
We had a great event.
Oh,
we looked
man.
at it after we have the after event meeting and everything. It numbered out really nice.
We got ideas too on how to.
It really turned out well. Now we want to move forward with other events. We just have to make that event happen. It doesn't happen
Right, I
overnight.
know.
You know, especially in boxing, you know, it's about availability of boxers and time. And unfortunately for us, we're limited in the weather too. Like, you know, June, July, August is going to be tough to do any outdoor events. I know everybody in Florida is okay with the heat, but you sit out there watching boxing in June, July, August, and September.
Right.
You're gonna lose. You're gonna lose a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Maybe I should do that.
Lord knows I need it.
But anyhow,
Lord knows I need it.
Jersey wise guy. He's all about the Rams, but he said he thinks the future. Joe Burrow's got a Hall of Fame future
Oh
career.
yeah. There's no
Not
doubt.
even
Out of
close.
all the young guys, he's the one that for sure has crossed that threshold. All right, Steve. I appreciate you,
All
my
right, man.
Brother.
Thanks a
You're
lot.
the best. I
All right,
appreciate
take
you.
care.
Steve Calabro, the general manager here at Hialeah Park. Go to the website, hialeahpark.com. Come on out here. Second floor poker room is smoking right now. The most smoking slots also in the States, okay? The loosest slots out there in the States. So loose that NFL players love it. Okay, that's how it is. They might even marry them. I don't know. It's just that's how loose they are. The slots here at Hialeah Park. The NFL players may have kids with these loose slots. Is what's going on. All right. I think we got to send Marcel something there. Maybe that's what it is. So let's send Marcel. Roge, Marley, thank you. Says for ironic first position was coaching. AJ. He says for Steve, why you call him a car salesman? That's bad. That's bad, man. That's just wrong. Easy with my man Steve. He's a good dude, man. Let's see. But you know what? He's not as a Tua believer like some of you out there that aren't Tua believers or Tua doubters. Let's put it that way. That's the way we would call it. Paul Corlett gives us some love on Venmo. Thank you, Paul. He says, "Hey, I like the way you handled the dude, Steve, as he was trying to be the gatekeeper." I don't know what him being. No, I think he was. Yeah, it's just one of those where it just. It's. I don't know why the whole biracial thing or the mix thing is even an issue for anyone. You know what I'm saying? I just. Who cares? Who cares? Where you come from, what sex you are, what nationality, whatever, man. Can you do the damn job? That's all that really matters. I don't really care about the people that are so hooked up and trying to discuss his racial qualities, how black he is or how white he is or is he officially black or is he officially not, or it's like, who the hell are we to even determine anything like that, or even what place do we have to talk or discuss about that, dude? That's his business. You know what I mean? So to me, it's just one of those things that just I found it weird where people are trying to justify him one way or another, and again, this is all to fit their narratives. It's kind of like what we've talked about with Tua. People are, well, no, we got to go get competition. Why? Because you think he can't play? So that's why you got to get competition? Because if you have a starting quarterback, you don't really have to get, competition. But that's your narrative. It's kind of like when we bring on Joe and he goes, well, at the end of the first round, could they be thinking Cody Pickett? I go, well, why would you be thinking Cody Pickett, dude? Because Joe doesn't believe in Tua. He doesn't think the kid will turn. And that there's nothing wrong with that. There's lots of people that don't believe Tua Tagovailoa will be a starting quarterback, a good starting quarterback in this league. Nothing wrong with that, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? I disagree with it. Some of you may disagree with it, but that's an opinion. That's cool. We all have opinions about players, whether we think they can play or not. Josh Allen, in my eyes, there was no way. When I saw at the Senior Bowl, and then what I saw his first year in the NFL, I said, this guy's a disaster. He's like another, what's the Indiana guy? Sudfeld, like just a cannon of an arm and had no idea where it's going. And somehow or another, the kid figured it out. So we're going to get things right and wrong. And we'll find out with Tua. But it's all part of narratives that people already have developed. And then that's why they formulate this opinion. And then they assume that everybody else is looking at it that way. Tua's going to shut them all down. Stephen A. says McDaniel isn't black enough. Yeah, so that's why Stephen A. is a moron. You know what I mean? First of all, I wouldn't want to hear Stephen A. ever talk about football. And if any of you actually are watching, listening, and actually paying attention to Stephen A. Smith talk about anything other than basketball, kind of doesn't say much about you. That's like Stephen A. I have zero respect for his football knowledge. When he got busted a couple of years ago, talking about players that were out of the game and not even playing and injured and out, and he's talking about them playing every week and stuff, and he sounded like a complete moron because he doesn't follow football. But of course, ESPN only has, they're down to 30 people now from 300. So they've got to use people all over the place, and they're paying that guy like $15 million a year. So they got to milk him and put him in and ask him of his opinion of stuff that he knows nothing about. Okay? So I get it. He's talking about the race part of it, which has nothing to do with football. But the point is, the second they're going to Stephen A. about football, I'm just turning it off. I won't even get to the race part of it. I don't want to hear him talk about anything about football. Okay? You know what? I don't mind. He's entertaining for the basketball side, and he knows his basketball. He knows nothing about football. Zero. So to listen to that clown talk about football means that you're a clown for listening to him talk or watch him talk about football. Let's see. Big O, you missed Polly King's super chat. I don't know what the hell that is. Is that Polygon? Polygon? We missed the talk. Well, I could always talk a little Polygon. Love talking Polygon because the NFTs are blowing up. They added EIP 1551, so they're burning Poly. So Poly's actually going to go up in value because it's actually deflationary now, like Ethereum. So I'm all about Poly, bro. I'm into Polygon. I love talking Polygon. I can talk Polygon all day long. So if you're invested in Polygon too, which it seems like it, way to go, man. If it was up to Stephen A., he would never have racism go away. He loves to be a victim. I don't know. Well, whatever. Lewis, that's a fake. Okay, you guys are talking amongst yourselves. The owner has already discreetly circled the wagons against Flores. Ross has no problems. Listen, if he did mention it to him, all Ross has to know is the people that were around that may have heard it. As long as they're on the same page with Ross, that was a joke, right? Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, boss, that was a joke. Of course. Yeah, Flo doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Flo's done. Flo's going to have tangible proof. What do you got for me there? What do you got? What do you got?
Because I saw a story yesterday, and I couldn't remember who I saw it from, where they named the witness.
Oh yeah, but that was fake, and they tagged Armando Salguero with it.
Is that what it was? Okay,
Yeah,
that's where I've been going.
and if you go to Salguero and if you go to Salguero's feed, nothing was in there.
That's where I was.
It was all a lie.
And then I was looking at
somebody
got had on this story here.
Here you go, bro.
Because that's where I was trying to find it. Okay.
Here you go. If this is what you're looking for, because a friend of mine sent it to me yesterday, and then I told him, bro, did you look up the story? Because none of it is on Salguero's feed. That one right there. That's what you saw. And it wasn't on Salguero's feed. But that's some clown, and that's the problem with misinformation, and they throw it out there. And you saw my
put a story out.
You saw my guy Steve. Oh no, he never calls plays. Yeah. And that we have a ton of we have a ton of Dolphin fans walking around. Oh, they hired Mike McDaniel, huh? That guy's never called plays before. And dude, they'll go to the grave with it. And then they'll say, oh, no, it's a lie. Oh, no. And then they'll say, and then if you tell them, hey, dude, he relays everything to Shanahan. And then Shanahan tells the quarterback, you know what that person will then create? Oh, well, I bet he changes all the plays. No, of course, because, Kyle Shanahan's going to name him the offensive coordinator to call plays only to change all the plays. But that's what we battle against every single day.
To us Dolphin fans, though, that does make sense because we literally saw it happen here.
That's true. Yes, with that asinine.
We saw it happen. We know it happened.
Yeah. No, you're right about that. Can't argue with that. Oh, I like how Mike stood up for Ross and the wonderful vision he has for Miami sports. Well, let's hope he can make it happen, man. Let's hope he can make it happen. Big O, after listening to McDaniel, I got to say this dude is the real deal and will get the best out of Tua. Super hyped. Let's hope so. All right, let's get to our Edge energy drink. Miami Dolphins Insider Report with Marcel Louis-Jacques.
Time to get the edge on the Miami Dolphins with our Edge Energy Drink Miami Dolphins Report. When you want the energy drink that's delicious and smooth with zero aftertaste, you can only order Edge Energy Drink at myedgedrink.com. That's myedgedrink.com. Here's the ESPN Dolphin Insider Marcel Louis-Jacques.
This weekend, when you're watching the big game, grab a little vodka, maybe a little rum, grab a little bit of Edge energy drink there, mix it up, and you are going to love it. And it is delicious. It is smooth. It has zero aftertaste, and the link is right below here on our YouTube page, so you can get a little Edge energy drink. There he is, the man that brings the edge all the time, Marcel Louis-Jacques. Marcel, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm good, man. It's cool, as you can see, back in the facility. It's nice being back in Miami Gardens, having some work to do, seeing everybody. But I'm doing well, man. It's been a good morning so far.
What were your impressions of the young Mike McDaniel?
Yeah, a little bit of nerves there. I think this is probably his first time speaking to a media corps of that size or doing that large of a press conference. You got to remember, last season was his first as the official offensive coordinator, so he was not available to the media in that capacity. And I think being in San Francisco, a lot of their press conferences were virtual, but that's neither here nor there. He does sound like somebody that's excited. He sounds like somebody who has a vision, has a plan for what he's going to do. As we heard one of the biggest, I think, developments in that press conference was the fact that he is going to call plays. I know that was a big, quote unquote knock against him in San Francisco, was that he didn't call plays. I've said on the show multiple times that was not necessarily true, but now that is his primary responsibility here. He doesn't sound like somebody who's going to come in here and force a system onto players that aren't ready for it. It sounds like he's going to come here. He's going to figure out what they've got on their roster and then tailor something specifically to that. And I think that Dolphins fans hearing that, hoping for improved offense this season, that should be music to your ears. Because after how many times of hearing, take what the defense gives you, react to what the defense is looking at, this seems like somebody who, again, he's part of that kind of innovative offensive explosion going on in the NFL, part of that kind of coaching tree. This is somebody who, as he told Travis Greenfield yesterday, he wants to dictate what is happening in the game. He wants his offense to attack. He wants his offense to be aggressive and set the tone. And I think that, if he's able to do that, if he's able to if that's able to come to fruition, then we're going to see a completely different Miami Dolphins team in 2022.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I love the attitude. I love you actually get to cover a human being now on that podium. I think you get a lot of insight. I was talking with Alan Poupard. That story he told about when they drafted RG3 and then, they never ran the zone. And so now all of a sudden they all have to go learn. That's the kind of stuff that you'll never get from Flo. And that's the kind of stuff that guys like you and women that work your job also are going to absolutely love, because this is a guy that actually is going to give you some insight and leave some meat on the bone so you can actually write about what's actually going on instead of all the ums. And let me just try to phrase this in a way where there's no second question to it or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it seems like he is genuine, and not to compare him to anybody in previous regimes, but he sounds like he's his own person. I can appreciate that. Again, I think that once he gets in this room that I'm in right now, this is our normal press conference room. It's a little more intimate of an audience. I think, we'll see a little more relaxed of a person, but he does seem personable. But the thing is, he's not hired to be friends with us. He's not hired to tell jokes on the podium. He's hired to revitalize this offense and develop players. And it sounds like he has a track record of doing such. I loved the RG3 story. I love the fact that they are willing. Again, that's that coaching tree. That's that innovation. That's that, the outside of the box that I'm talking about. And
But wait a minute. Hold on a second before you go too far, because I talked about this with Alan. Let me give you the complete story on that, okay? Because I'm not sure if you know the whole story. They didn't want RG3. That was all the owner. They would have never drafted RG3. Shanahan didn't want RG3. That's why he left his ass out there on the field and let Haloti Ngata just, chew him up and spit him out, and it was over. And then he got his guy in. And as I explained the story, this is the same thing that happened to Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson didn't want Troy Aikman. He didn't want him. It was Gil Brandt standing on the table going, Jimmy, what the hell are you doing? This is the best guy. We have to take this guy. Half the personnel staff got behind Gil Brandt because a lot of them were there from the Dallas days, and Jimmy was taking over. And Jimmy, because of his experiences with Troy and breaking his leg and all that stuff, he didn't like Troy. So he didn't want Troy, but he let Gil Brandt make the pick because they were so adamant about it. He then takes Steve Walsh in the supplemental draft because he didn't trust Troy Aikman. Then Troy Aikman goes and proves himself, and then Jimmy believes in him, and then he ships, Walsh to Chicago. The rest is history. In Washington, the same thing happened. Shanahan didn't want RG3. He had other ideas at quarterback, but the owner loved RG3 so much that they had to trade for him. And in that trade, that whole staff looked around and go, oh, crap, we don't coach this. And that's the story that McDaniel's telling you. That
but
because
still,
they were forced with RG3, they all had to adjust as a staff, and he had a monster season.
Hey, but still, that's what I'm talking about is that it shouldn't be considered outside of the box thinking to tailor your scheme to the guys that you have instead of trying to force a square peg into a round hole. But, the fact that, okay, even if they weren't prepared for a mobile quarterback like that, even if they weren't prepared for that kind of passer and runner, they were able to figure it out pretty quickly. Like I said, he had one of the best rookie seasons for a quarterback that we've ever seen. And, but like I said, he sounds like he at least knows what he's doing. He is voluntarily now calling plays, which for, the 300th time, I'm saying he did call plays in San Francisco. It wasn't the primary play caller.
Dude, I brought on Jennifer Lee Chan to back you up 2 days ago. She covers the Niners out there. She does a really good job for NBC. She's been at it for several years.
Oh, yeah.
And Jennifer explained it that Mike makes all the calls to Kyle, and then Kyle relays it to the quarterback. Now, unlike the Dolphins, Kyle is not pulling a Charlie Fry and changing all the plays. No. Kyle may give advice to the quarterback or whatever. Maybe he changes one or two plays, but logic tells you if he's going to name him the offensive coordinator and the play caller, he's not going to be changing the plays. He must trust the hell out of him. So he actually made all the calls straight to Shanahan, and then Shanahan would tweak something if he had to tweak it.
I try to tell people it was a collaborative process, and the idea that he didn't call plays was exaggerated, and somehow people just kept running with it. But that's why I love these opportunities, sit down face to face and clear some of the BS up. I was told he would call plays himself, just period, toward the end of games late in the season. Like, this is if anybody says that he didn't call plays in San Francisco, then they're not paying attention. That's all I gotta say. Like, they're not doing the reading.
Marcel Louis-Jacques articles. They're not watching his reports. They're not watching the Big O radio show. That's the problem. You know what I mean?
It's a shame. It's a shame, man. But that's part of the job, is clearing up some of the nonsense. But I thought that he was. It was what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of a muted vote of confidence in Tua Tagovailoa. Kind of I think he insisted on downplaying the impact of Tua himself and hyping him up as just a member of the offense and a member of the team. He said Tua is a guy that wants to get better on a team full of guys who want to get better. I'm not worried about how good Tua can be by himself necessarily, because there's only a handful of quarterbacks in this league who can by themselves overcome the shortcomings of the rest of their team. Guys like Pat Mahomes, like Aaron Rodgers to an extent, to Josh Allen to an extent, and like even those guys who are those transcendent talents, if another team comes around and plays a complete team game, they can go on and beat them. You saw what the Chiefs did to the Bills. You saw what the Bengals did to the Chiefs. You saw what the Niners, McDaniel's Niners, did to the Packers. So like it's a very rare moment.
I saw before you were born what San Francisco did to Dan Marino. So I know exactly what you're talking about, because to this day I'm still feeling the pain, sitting there going, oh my God, seriously. And so yes, we know exactly, because Marino could hide a lot of your faults, but in the end, if you don't give him enough, you weren't going to win it, man. That's just
exactly. So I like that he did that to just kind of like calm down the Tua noise and the Tua talk right now and just say, look, man, I'm excited to help this guy get better. I'm more worried about how we as a team are able to perform. And
to follow up, to piggyback on what you're saying, the part of the press conference where they asked him about it, and he said, well, they better be blocking. They better be running the ball. The defense better stop somebody. Like he also explained to people, because that's what I talked about throughout the year. Yeah, I know Tua didn't play perfect this year. I know he struggled at times and made mistakes and all that. But at the same time, I also see there's no coaching on the offensive line. So the offensive line sucks. They can't run the ball. Your receivers aren't staying healthy. So there were other issues, and play call and play design. That's the other thing. That's the other element that I think completely was missing from the Dolphins. Play design is one of the most important things, because it's kind of like a chessboard. When you're playing chess, for any of us that play chess, you're thinking a couple of moves ahead, and you're trying to set your opponent up a couple of moves ahead. That's exactly what play calling is. We didn't have a lot of that. You're going to see that with these kind of guys, because that's what this group does. The Shanahans, the Kubiaks, and now, the Flores and all these other guys, that's what they try to do. Play calling is incredibly important, the design.
It is. I'm not going to lie here. I dipped over to the comments just for a second, and please do not ever mention me in the same sentence as Emmanuel Akko. That's deeply offensive to me personally, but moving forward from that, yeah, I think that.
What did Ocho do? He did have a good one this week on Flo's lawyers. That was.
I think it's more fluff than substance, and people eat it up.
Yeah. Oh, I get. He does do a lot of the drama. Yes, he does. He does add the sensationalism,
the drama, the loud, the cadence, the goofy takes. Nah, man, that is. I would, and if that's what y'all are getting from me, please let me know so that I can right the ship immediately. No. But
but the line he had this week about Flo's lawyers, that was awesome. I got to give him love there. I don't know if he was the one that dug it up or one of the producers or whatever, but that was good, bro. That was good. I mean, Flo had to think. He didn't even think, because he called his buddies. That's the problem. Those are friends of his. He wasn't thinking color. He's just thinking his friends. And he wasn't thinking about the big picture of the whole thing, which, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of weird.
It might be it. But, that entire saga is not over yet, obviously. We'll see. It's one of those situations, man. It's healthier for you to just wait and see. Evidence or the lack thereof will become clear eventually. If they've got things to back up the lawsuit, we'll see it before long. If they don't, we'll see that before long as well. But there's no harm. And I think that's a societal flaw nowadays. There's no harm in just kind of sitting back and waiting for real details and real facts to come out before formulating an opinion.
Boy, if he has proof of pay to lose, he can bring the NFL to its knees. That's the one. I don't. The bias case. I think he has a very slim chance of winning that, or none, pretty much. But the other one, oh doggy, if he has proof, that's the one that can rock people's worlds. That's the one that's going to be. That's the one that's going to be tough. All right. Anything else from that press conference that you want to share with us that you took away from it?
I think that we pretty much hit on all the. I don't know why this light keeps going on and off, man. I've been trying to figure it out, but I think we hit on really all of the
It's when
main
you stay
points.
still. When you don't move for a couple of minutes, it's motion censored. That's what it is. That's why it's
That's
turning
one.
off.
I need to take a lap around the room.
Yeah,
while I
you're
talk.
gonna have to move a little bit like this, and then it won't turn off. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
But no, I think we hit on all the basics. He was asked right out of the gate if, and this is something that I asked agents and I asked coaches that were involved in the search and interview process if that lawsuit would deter them at all from their interest in the job. Like, does this give you any pause, any hesitation? And McDaniel said the same thing that every single person I spoke to also said. Nope. No. Basically, that has nothing to do with Mike McDaniel. He praised Stephen Ross. I think he might have misspoke a little bit, saying that Miami's lucky that they have a team owner who, right, wrong, or indifferent. The bottom line is he just wants to win and he cares. So I think
he cares. He cares so much he'll pay to lose.
Yeah, I think he like. I don't think we can. I don't know how much debate there is that Stephen Ross wants to win. Like, there are team owners, in professional sports who, this is just a money making venture for him. But
by the way, the guy in the Super Bowl is not a big spender. Never been known to be a big spender. Doesn't usually provide enough in the football operations for people. Mike Brown has been known to be one of the most notoriously cheap people in the world. He's like the guy that spends right to the floor, not the roof, floor. Okay, and then they're in the Super Bowl. So
little differences between like the Dolphins and the Bengals. So today we're in the team facility, the practice facility, and they have something that looks, kind of like that. They got a transportable lectern. It's on wheels. It's got the big logo on it. They can move it, off to the side for photo ops, all that. The Bengals famously use a AV cart like you would see in elementary school on movie day. When it's raining or snowing outside and you got to watch a movie during recess and lunch. It's just little things like that. No indoor practice facility there. Brand spanking new practice facility basically everywhere else in the league. So it's just, this will be, if the Bengals win the Super Bowl, man, this will be it'll be a critical blow to facility football, we have to have the shiny toy football.
It could be just history repeating itself again, my brother. Ken Anderson went to the Super Bowl one time with the Bengals. Boomer Esiason went one time with the Bengals. And maybe Joe Burrow, this is his one time with the Bengals. So they make it there every once in a blue moon, and then they usually get, throttled or an amazing comeback by Joe Montana. And they've had a couple of quarterbacks that have had, that one trip. So that's the question now. Is Joe Burrow following the same path of Ken Anderson and Boomer Esiason of making just one trip to the Super Bowl with a really bad franchise that once in a while finds its way there? You know what I mean? And they are playing a team that should win, actually. The Rams should win. They are the more complete team overall. So we'll find out.
This is one of those, it's a rare scenario in which no matter who wins, I think I'll be content. If the Rams win, I think it's.
Go ahead.
I said, if the Rams win, I think it's kind of cool for Matt Stafford after, just really being a quote unquote good soldier there in Detroit for so long to, be that kind of piece. Like, what kind of feelings that got to be when they go out and trade for you and you go win a Super Bowl for your team? I think it'd be good for him. And then if the Bengals win, man, like, who doesn't like an underdog? And, obviously that's might ruffle a feather or two in Miami, especially with all the reports over the past month that, they wanted to trade 2 or 3 first-round picks. It would have to be 3 first-round picks up to number 1 to draft Burrow, and all the tank talk and blah, blah, blah. But, what happened already. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no more debate about Tua or Burrow. Like, Burrow was not on the board, and that's that. Focus.
It's Herbert's the one that, if you want to have a beef, and for those of you out there that we wish we could have had him. They never had a shot at Burrow. Hey, you give them credit for at least trying to trade for him, but obviously they were smart enough to keep the kid. Here's the twisted part about that game. And to kind of piggyback off your talk with Stafford, a couple weeks ago, he needed that moment for his career. And obviously winning the Super Bowl would kind of erase anything that's happened in Detroit or whatever labels he ended up starting to earn in Detroit, that he was, really talented, but, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But here's the twisted part for me, at least. If this game comes down to who puts together the most clutch drive at the end of a game, I just feel like Joe Burrow's the guy that I'm going to put my money on over Matt Stafford, because what's fresh in my mind is him smoking a cigar in the SEC, with LSU, and then watching him do what he's done with Cincinnati and a mediocre line at times. So moxie is all on one side of the ball, the way I look at it, and the other guy is trying to show you that he can be that guy. We know he's that guy talent-wise because, man, Matt Stafford's super gifted, but he just hasn't crossed that threshold that, in my eyes, Burrow's already crossed, which is crazy.
I would be the only hesitation I guess I would have with the game on the line is that he's got to do so with Aaron Donald, Von Miller, and Jalen Ramsey on the other side. But if he does that,
and Isaiah Prince is his defense.
Yeah, look, if he somehow leads a game-winning, last minute drive, then put him in the top 5 and keep him there for the rest of his career. I'm sold like that. I'm honestly and I'm not too proud to admit when I'm wrong. I was wrong about Joe Burrow. To be completely honest, I wasn't excited about any of these 3 quarterbacks, Burrow, Tua, or Herbert coming out. I was worried that Burrow had 1 year of plus production after being
that makes sense
mediocre throughout his college career. And we've just seen that before. Dwayne Haskins had 1 year of being a star. Mark Sanchez had 1 year of good. There's a long line of quarterbacks who had one flashy year and then it didn't pan out because that's not really who they were. And I thought that was going to be the case with Burrow. I was wrong. I also saw Justin Herbert get torn apart by my Sun Devils before he came out, and I said, no way. If the worst defense in the Pac-12 can figure this guy out, ain't no way he's ready for the NFL. And turns out Oregon just didn't know how to use him because that guy is the guy's a bona fide star already. But
he has not played like at Oregon. He had no moments. He had no signature moments, nothing, dude. I was more impressed with Justin Herbert running the ball at times at Oregon than throwing the ball. It was like the weirdest thing. You would see him and go, damn, this dude's strong, athletic, has got a whip of an arm, and yet I'm more impressed with him running. And it was like, and I know Cristobal's here, but man, you just wonder, like, yo, dude, I hope you're not that conservative here because that's not going to fly here, man. They'll be pretty critical of that. Here,
look, they've got a kid.
By the way, you watch Tyler Van Dyke this past year. Well, guess what? He better play with that kind of swag next year. We better not see him running around and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's he's got a legit star. There's NFL guys that are excited about Van Dyke's future in the league. Off the top of my head, I don't remember what year he was. I don't remember if he's draft eligible after this year or not. But whenever he does come out, he's going to be highly considered there as somebody's future franchise.
He'll be eligible after this year because he's a redshirt sophomore. So he'll have 3 years in. So he will be. Hopefully he stays one more year, and gives the Canes another year, even though they're kind of loaded back there. All right, before I let you go, Marcel Louis-Jacques, who wins and why?
I've got Cincinnati going. I'm a big proponent of the hot team winning. Cincinnati went into Tennessee and beat the number 1 seed Titans with Derrick Henry back. They go into Arrowhead and beat the Chiefs, which, as the Bills showed you, you can play your perfect game, and all it takes is a play or two, and the Chiefs will beat you. And Cincinnati went and erased the deficit and still won. Now they're going into somebody else's backyard. I like the hot team, man, and I like a good story. I think Cincinnati's going to be the good story, and I predicted it for ESPN here. Super Bowl MVP, not Joe Burrow, not Jamar Chase, but T. Higgins. I think Jalen Ramsey is going to put Jamar Chase in hell come Sunday. I think somebody else is going to have to step up. It's either going to be Boyd or Higgins, and my money's going to be on Higgins.
Higgins is a good player, man. He's a good player, man. He's kind of what's it called? A guy that doesn't get enough credit actually for his skill set. I like him. That's a good call.
Yeah, I covered him at Clemson, his true freshman and sophomore years, and I can remember, he's just this stick, this rod as a freshman, and then we see him for the first time in spring practice, and he's coming down the stairs and looks like a completely different person. And I knew, okay, this guy's gonna be an NFL receiver. Like, he's gonna be a legit guy. And sure enough, but hey, he can.
No doubt about it. Follow him on Twitter at Marcel_LJ, and catch him here a couple times a week with the Edge Energy Drink Miami Dolphins Insider Report. Marcel, thank you for taking some time, my friend. You have a terrific weekend. We will catch up next week.
Yep, you do the same. See you Monday.
You got it, baby. Be good. There you go. Marcel Louis-Jacques and our Edge Energy Drink Miami Dolphins Insider Report.
You now have the edge on the Miami Dolphins with the Edge Energy Drink Miami Dolphins Report featuring ESPN's Marcel Louis-Jacques. Get the energy drink that's delicious and smooth with zero aftertaste. You can only order Edge Energy Drink at myedgedrink.com. That's myedgedrink.com.
Love it. Hope you all are doing well out there. Let's see. What else do we have? All right. Market, by the way, is doing well. What's it called? Bitcoin is over 45,000 last time I checked. So right now the market is absolutely flying. Bitcoin's almost up 3%. It is up $45,400 right now, Bitcoin. So it is moving, man. Moving and a grooving. Those of us that were patient, those of us that ended up buying the dip, you're going to end up really enjoying this rebound, because it looks like, there was some talk that maybe we would have gone a bounce here and then another correction and then the catapult up to the new highs. But it looks like we're doing it. But remember what I told you yesterday. If it's going to go little by little, I love it. If it goes straight up parabolic, then don't buy anything. Wait for another little dip, and then it'll go back up again, and it'll go in there, man. So you will enjoy it. Those of you that were able to take advantage, like yours truly, in buying a little extra Bitcoin when it went down. I got a little extra cash there on the side, just waiting, just in case there's a little bit more of a dip in Bitcoin. I'll take advantage. If not, well, then we'll just go pay some bills with it, I guess. T. Higgins is my X factor, says Jason Myers. T. Higgins is a hell of a player. They got a really nice receiving core over there in Cincinnati. And it is interesting how they find a way to make it to the Super Bowl every couple of decades. It's what it seems like, right? From Ken Anderson to then Boomer Esiason and now, Joe Burrow. So the question is, will Joe be any different than those two guys? Ken Anderson was a hell of a quarterback. That was a pretty good team. They came up short to the Niners. And then Boomer Esiason obviously had to deal with Joe Montana ending that game. It was here in Miami, if I'm correct, right? So listen, I don't know if he can change history, but it hasn't gone well for Cincinnati quarterbacks because the ownership group normally cannot maintain what's going on when they do have a good team. Another receiver like Higgins, Miami should target is if we go after Justin Ross. He is a big kid. Jason Valario. Jason, I stole your picture, by the way. I think you're the guy. Love the show, Big O. Excited for Mike and his vision of the team. Thanks for using my Shula. There it is. Thanks for using my Shula like McDaniel photo edit in your show picture this AM. I'm honored. Well, it was a great job by you. Great editing by you. He got an old Shula picture and he switched the heads. And it looks really, really good, actually. So I took it to, I stole it so we can use it to promote the press conference today. And I remembered the name Valario from it on the Twitter page, and I meant to thank you on it. So I'm glad that you actually tuned in, and I can thank you personally. So thank you very much, Jason. Very nice of you. Bengals about to choke. Rams D will let them know. All right. Well, is it really a choke? You're not really favored. You're really not supposed to be here. You know what I'm saying? I think the Bengals are playing with house money. If I'm going to label you a choker, it's because you should have won and you were the better team and all those kind of things. And it's really not what the Bengals are. They're a hot team right now. And that you got to give them plenty of love. And what that defense did 2 weeks ago against Kansas City, that was impressive, man. Impressive. JP on Sports says Higgins will be matched with Darius Williams, who's 5'9". Higgins is 6'4". That's a matchup nightmare for Los Angeles. Maybe they'll have the safety cheat with him and leave Jalen Ramsey alone with the LSU kid. So who knows? Bengals will have to move the pocket, keep the Rams D thinking. Yeah, that would be good. That definitely would be good. Let me check the Welton Rayom text line. Remember, 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056 on the Welton Rayom text line. And whenever you're listening to the podcast at any time, day or night, you can use the Welton Rayom text line to reach out to us at 855-912-1056. We'll answer them on the air when we're on the air. Sometimes when I'm off the air, I'll be sitting back relaxing and checking out your texts. Let's see what we got here. What else do we have here? Gotcha, man. I'm just hoping someone tries the Dolphins on diversity issue. Even the two names mentioned today are minorities, Embry and London, I think. On the Lovie Smith thing, how can anyone near football can disrespect him, not only as a coach, but as a man? You mentioned another old soul type band recently, kind of like Greta. Do you recall who that was? I forgot. Old soul band, new. Well, I can tell you Dorothy has that. She has an old soul, new band. It may have been, damn it. God. Oh, man, I have it in the tip of my tongue, and I'm forgetting it now. Let me see if I can remember. I'll try to remember here the old soul band that I was talking about that's new. Damn it. I know it, and it's like you're envisioning it, and you can't, like, put the name to it, which absolutely sucks. You know what also sucks is that this thing is freezing up on me. Come on, man, let's go. Want to answer these texts on the Welton Rayom text line. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's a little slow or something right now. Well, something's going on there. Let me see if I can get it on this one here. Now, this one looks like it's moving faster than the other one. It's the weirdest thing, right? You grab one iPad and it's like moving really slow, and then you grab the other one. Look, the other one's still moving. It looks like the one thing that is getting unlocked is Mike McDaniel himself. Fins up, says the Fishmar. Thank you, sir. What else do we have here? Somebody keeps sending me pictures. The less the idiot owner speaks, the better, and Grier sounds like a big ass kisser. Okay. Big O, is Safed Dean a doof for asking that question at the end? What question did Safed Dean ask at the end? Do you know? Oh, the race thing? Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know why that's such an issue for people. I just don't. Why would I care about that? Now, I live a different life than other people. I just don't look at. I don't look at people for color, nationalities, sexualities, sex, whatever. I just treat you for who you are. Period. I don't give a rat's ass about anything else. It's just weird.
And another thing for Safa, he maybe just asked that question for stories, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Trying to find some
Of
insight
course.
for him with those stories. That's sometimes the questions seem a little off because the way that they're asked in order, I guess, because
He might be asking it for somebody else.
100%. I mean, it might be for something that they're trying to get
Somebody else he's at USA Today. So he might be getting that question for someone else at USA Today.
Yeah.
Now it could be for him too. You just never know, man. That's the wacky part about this business.
Because I think honestly, a lot of the questions when you look at them, it was, Jim Barry went first and asked about the red flags. Then everything else was pretty much football.
Yeah.
All the way till Safed had asked about the race identity. So, again, a lot of it did deal with the football, but again, a lot of the journalists are asking for either their story or another story that might be getting written through their publication. So
in the end, it's just not an issue. It shouldn't be an issue. And race is not an issue with the Dolphins. That's for sure. Hit it out of the park. Came off as authentic. I hope again. John in Los Angeles. Then Stone Temple Pilots. Was that the one I was talking about? That could be that definitely talking about Stone Temple Pilots, but that's an older band. Man, I'm trying to think. There's this newer band. They've got like 5 albums. They're a really good band, dude. And it's just, I hate that I'm brain farting right now on them. Really, really good. I love them actually, and shows you how much I love them that I can't remember their damn name. You just can't see and hear the emotion that's behind McDaniel and how much this means to him. I love it. True passion and commitment. Let's go. I'm with you there. I do love the passion that I saw from McDaniel. Thank you for those of you that reached out on the Walt and Rayom text line. Appreciate it. Jason says, Big O, as far as Gesicki goes, do you think he can become more complete tight end? Blocking is about effort and technique. It's something that can be coached, in your opinion. Yes, it can be coached to a certain extent, but I don't think that you're ever going to make Mike Gesicki a great blocker. Let's put it that way. Can he learn to get in the way of somebody? Sure. Can Duncan Robinson learn how to get in the way of somebody? Sure. Will Duncan Robinson or Mike Gesicki ever get to the point that we want them to be as blockers or defenders? No. It's just not who they are. Can't do anything about it. You know what I mean? So he is what he is. Now you've got to find a way to maximize that. So you got to maximize him as a wide receiver. So you better hope that Hunter Long is more of a blocker, and then you'll see him doing a lot of that in this offense if he is more of a blocker. All right. Let's see. Question is part of the agenda. They didn't learn from MLK. It's about the content of the character, not your skin color. Amen to that. I just don't know why it would be an issue. What happened? We got a trade? What, James Harden? What happened? Well, you got me hanging on here. Like, the hell is going on? Let's go.
I'm looking at the different reports, and one says it was 10 hours ago. One says it was 3 hours ago.
About what?
Well, Goran Dragic has been linked to a trade.
Okay, but he has to then get released and bought out before we could get
But
him.
he's going to the team that everybody said if he went to, they would probably buy him out, which is the Knicks. This was between the Lakers, the Knicks, and the Raptors.
Okay.
The Lakers would get Cam Reddish and Alec Burks. Knicks get Goran Dragic and draft pick. picks. Raptors get Horton Tucker and Nerlens Noel.
Okay.
And then I looked here, and then Yahoo Sports says 2 hours ago that it's been discussed in a 3 trade, and then others are reporting that it's pretty much done. So I jumped the gun, and my reactions caught you.
What did Woj say?
There's been no Woj bomb, which
so then that's it.
has
So
made me think that.
So
it's not
if there's no Sharnia, there's no Woj bomb, then it didn't happen.
all right, I'll look at those two, and I'll let you know.
Right, that's it. If Shams didn't report it or Woj, then it never happened in the NBA. That's all. I mean, isn't that the law? Right? If Woj doesn't report it, it never happened. If Shams Charania doesn't report it, never happened. Goran went to the Spurs. We're being told here on the text line. Harden is gone.
Going to say
yes, there is a Woj bomb.
Yes.
What do we have?
116. Brooklyn Nets are trading James Harden to the 76ers for Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, 2 first-round picks. Sources tell ESPN.
What was that again? Say that again.
That doesn't seem right.
What was that trade again? Say that again. No, it's right. It's law. If Woj reported it, it's law.
I'm trying to make sure I didn't get, because it's Woj ESPN, so I'm trying to make sure it's not like Woj or no.
Right. Is there a dot and everything?
There's a dot. There's a blue check, but blue checks mean nothing these days because you can put those on. It says the Brooklyn Nets are trading James Harden to the 76ers for Ben Simmons, Seth Curry,
shooter,
Andre Drummond, 2 first-round picks.
Wow.
It seems like a lot, right?
Yeah, dude.
How much was Harden's contract? Don't you have to match?
Yeah.
So maybe
it's like 40-something million.
Maybe the Nets, I don't know, I guess maybe that's why they had to add up the money. But the Sixers, there's more to this. The Sixers are sending the Nets an unprotected 2022 first-round pick and a protected 2027 first-round pick. So
yeah, those are the 2 first-rounders.
Two more first-round. Oh, wait. Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
I was thinking
it's just telling you what those
back.
two.
Yeah,
you're just telling us what specifically are those 2 first-rounders.
Yeah, it's a
that's
2022 and a 2027.
Wow. Damn. Okay. They got a lot, dude. They got a lot. All right, Ben Simmons. There we go. Knicks are trading Reddish after getting him for a shot sandwich. One of the bands you mentioned was Foo Fighters. Hey, by the way, that's what I have today. I have my Foo Fighters shirt on today. Styling little Foo Fighters. I love the Foo Fighters. Woj bomb. Really, Harden traded again. There's something with him.
The Nets are including Paul
Millsap
in
also.
the deal. Yep.
Okay. All right.
Let's see what else. Boston Celtics earlier on traded PJ Dozier and Bol, the future second cash to the Magic.
Okay.
Cost saving for
Bol's got his issues with IG models. He's got to watch himself there.
And Serge Ibaka was traded also to the Bucks. Serge Ibaka going to the Milwaukee Bucks.
So far, nothing for us unless we can either get Goran or something else. I know we got an hour and a half. We got 90 minutes left till the deadline. So the Heat, they've got to be working on something.
Probably, but the Raptors, the trade for Dragic and a protected 2022 first-round pick to the Spurs for Thad Young, Drew Eubanks 2022 second-round pick.
So are the Spurs going to buy out Goran Dragic? All right. I like that.
Yeah, it says they are expected to negotiate a contract buyout.
All right. So that means we'll get him for sure. For sure, we'll get Goran Dragic. And that'll be perfect because he can't be a starter. Goran Dragic, his body cannot hold up to starting. It's been like that for like 4 or 5 years. Ever since he went that summer to Europe to play in that tournament, he was never the same again. His body was never the same again. But if you bring him here now, you're only going to need him for spot minutes and when Lowry is out. But you can get a guy that can actually run the offense for you. So I really like that. I really like that move if they can get Dragic here. That would be actually really, really cool. The biggest takeaways here, the Sixers get out of the Simmons headache, and they also keep Matisse Thybulle and Tyus Maxey, who they didn't want to part with. Harden is Harden. Thybulle's a hell of a defender, dude. God, he is a good defender. That guy is going to turn into like a one of those elite perimeter defenders for years to come. Like, I'm trying to think of some of these badasses. Trying to think of the guy from the Bucks that I used to love watching. That a hell of a player back in the day. But Thybulle reminds me of that guy. Damn it! Now I'm today's not a good day. Today I'm struggling with a couple of names of things that I want to remember, and then I can't remember. The hell it is. Sucks. And I know when I get in the car, boom, comes right to me. That's it. Ridiculous. PJ Tucker type. Yeah. But I'm thinking more of think of this nasty ass defender that Milwaukee had about 25 years ago. Allen, is it Robinson? Is it Allen? No, not Allen. It's damn it, bro. I think it is Robinson. They had two guards there. No, actually, you know who's another guy I'm thinking of? Sidney Moncrief. Moncrief was a hell of a defender. That Thybulle reminds me of one of those kind of guys. It's a pain in the ass that will get in your craw, dude. And he is just no. Terry Cummings was a big dude. He was a power forward. Terry Cummings was a good player, by the way. I think Terry Cummings didn't have any eyebrows, right? Was that the dude? Was it Terry Cummings, right? That didn't have the eyebrows? Alvin Robinson. Boom. Yes. Alvin Robinson. He also played for the Spurs, too, by the way. Really good defender. Pain in the ass. That's what Thybulle reminds me of. That guy. Okay? Now I got to remember that band that I love, and I don't know why I can't remember the damn name of the band. They've got like 4 or 5 albums. Can't believe it. I can't remember that band. Gary Payton was good, but he's a point guard. So Thybulle's not really a point guard. That's why I look at him more like Alvin. You know? Cliff Robinson was a power forward / center. Really good three-point shooter. Can style a headband better than most. Big O, you need one of my products, N-Brain Plus. I mean, nothing hurts, but I do pretty good overall, man. I remember things that are really hard to remember from a long, long time ago. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of things in there to remember. And I can't remember that damn name of the band. So pissed. I can't remember the band's name. Blackberry Smoke, I love. That is a good band. But that's not the band that I'm talking about. They got like 4 or 5 albums. They're kind of they're a rock band. They have a classic rock band sound, yet they're new. They're, like I said, 4 or 5 albums. I don't know why the hell I can't remember them. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put on Google best new rock bands last 10 years. Okay? And I bet it'll come out. Because I'm pissed that I can't remember that damn name. It's a really good band, too. Who are the best rock bands of the last 10 years? No, not Arctic Monkeys. They're pretty good. But no, this list here, White Reaper, Nothing But Thieves, The Glorious Sons, The Struts. The Struts are excellent. I love it. Royal Blood, Dorothy. I love Ghost. I love Red Sun Rising, The Menzingers, Greta Van Fleet, obviously. He's got also Ruby the Hatchet, The Dirty Nil, The Pretty Reckless, Crowbot, Uncle Acid, Hailstorm. I love also Bad Flower, JJ Watt, and it's not there. It's not in that list. Damn it. Purple Trees, Black Angels. Let's see, what do you guys got here? Volbeat, Uncle Cliffy, Speed the Smoke. Damn it, man. I can't believe I can't remember the damn name of this band. It's rock. It's like they have a classic rock feel. They're a new band. Last 4 or 5 years. No, last 10 years, I'm sorry. They've got about 4 or 5 albums, and I can't remember it, and I'm so damn pissed. I just, classic rock. Yeah. They're like, I don't know why they're like a name that may have like a Brothers type of tone to it. I don't know why I can't remember it. I can't believe I can't remember this damn name. None of you can help me out. Give me some bands that have come out the last 10 years. Dirty Honey's another one. By the way, that's a great one. That I don't know. Did they finally get their contract? They are the best band on the planet without a record contract. I don't know if they finally got one because they were on the brink of it. People were talking about it. But I love Dirty Honey. Black Moods, I love too. Rival Sons. Thank you, brothers. Rival Sons. Oh, God. Jesus. Rival Sons. That's it. Rival Sons. Love Rival Sons, dude. One of the best new bands in the last 10 years. Wow. There we go. Man, Now I can relax now. I can chill out now. I can exhale. In fact, when I get in the car, I'm going to jam some Rival Sons. What happened? What did they say? This show can end. Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah, that's probably what we're going to do. I don't know what else I have anyways to say. I don't think I got anything else to say, to be quite honest with you all out there. Heat are back in action tonight against the Pelicans. Not much left to say, to be quite honest. Remember, on Sunday, and don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button for those of you that are there. Please smash the like button. Thank you. Sunday, join us. All right, we're going to be having some fun at Champions Sports Bar at the Airport Marriott. The Marriott is beautiful. The second building in the back, not the original building, but the second building in the back. In the first floor, you'll see it there. Secured, free parking, great food. Our pregame show to get you ready for the big game starts off at 4:00. Sean and I will be there. I'll be there by 3:00. So come on out and join us. Watch the entertainment on the televisions because we got plenty of it. It's a beautiful sports bar. I think it's a hidden gem. We're going to start doing something there on a monthly basis. So hopefully we get to see some of you out there. We appreciate everybody out here as always, taking care of us and making life easy for all of us out here. The Brunetti family, of course, as always, Frank Fiore, Steve Calabro, and all the great people out here at Hialeah Park. Sean Stanley, sir, you are awesome. Thank you for putting it all together. Alan Poupard, Marcel Louis-Jacques, we thank them as always. Remember, if you missed anything, it will all be podcasted. You can get it on audio and on video. Sean will also slice up the show with a Ginsu knife. So you'll be able to see some of your favorite segments and rants and all kinds of stuff. And I know he's going to break down some of the Mike McDaniel press conference too. So you'll get some of the Q&A questions, video and audio also. So you'll be able to see some of that also on the website. Don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button on your way out and hit that notification bell. We will see you tomorrow live from Craig Zinn's Acura Pembroke Pines. And of course, on the Okcoin Studios. Same time, same place, same bat channel. Have a good one.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show.